Same playoff action, new faces. My name is Hayes. I'm joined by Sneaky, and we're going to be taking you guys through the last two games of the day. Now, the first two games were rapid fire, Sneaky. 2-0s across the board, single digits for the teams who lost the maps as well. I have a feeling that's going to change, though. We've got the first game for you and I today, and it is going to be Saw versus Sangal coming to the matchup. But before that, how you doing? I mean, like we said, walking wounded, hanging on by a thread, but you're alive, you're kicking.
Yeah, just about. I mean, we're here. We're ready for some Counter-Strike action. I am admittedly still looking forward to the playoffs here. And I do think Sangal and Saw to start things off is a very fun matchup. Saw are, in theory, pushing that tier 1 boundary. They're in the 1.5s at the moment. They haven't been able to beat out a lot of that tier 1 opposition, but they did at least make a decent run of it recently. On the flip side, Sangal not really looked in top form since October of last year. I think that's the last time we can say they were absolutely amazing. But the problem with Sangal is out of nowhere, you will have these glimmers of absolute brilliance, which makes them still very competitive in every game they come up against. And I do think there is a firm possibility they could beat Saw today, but Saw should be the favorite team here.
Yeah, they definitely are the favorites, but I love Sangal as the underdog. That's the thing, is they've, like you said, they've been a bit underwhelming over the past few months, just because of the level of expectation I think everybody had out of them, right? Everybody really thought that this team might be the one to break into the top of tier 2, sort of an Aurora-esque type run, or 9 if you will, type of thing. And they stalled out a little bit, but this team as the underdogs, they are so capable of putting up a fight, scrapping away a map, then maybe, taking it the distance in OT. They'll always push a team. They've got a lot of individual skill. So are we going to pull up the schedule here first, so we can just actually quickly briefly go through the action we had earlier today? Of course, like I said, 2 games already been played through. And it was Monty who played against, who was it? It was Monty versus Havu to start off the day.
Yes.
Convincing 2-0 victory there for Monty, Sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, Havu has had a massive dip in form lately. Obviously, they had that 2-man roster change. I think one of the players retired and the other got bought out. But regardless, Havu, they've been really, really struggling lately. I think it's going to be a long road to recovery for them if they do want to make it back to their top form. I mean, looking at the other side of the bracket, though, Gamer Legion beating Ecstatic, that's quite an exciting one, because Ecstatic, if I'm not mistaken, recently qualified to Challenger Melbourne.
They did,
so
yes.
They've had a good run of form, but are still one of the most inconsistent teams who, on a bad day, I wouldn't even call tier 2, but on a good day, they can look fantastic. And unfortunately, it wasn't one of those days for them today. It's Gamer Legion recovered their form quite nicely and ended up 2-0ing in a decent fashion, and they'll be up against the winner of this current bout. But I think Gamer Legion was the expected favourite there.
Yeah, they were. I think people are probably a bit high on Ecstatic just because of that recent result where they qualified for Melbourne, like you said. So maybe just... I actually think it was pretty clear-cut for Gamer Legion off the bat. Like I said, recency bias, maybe just making that one look a little bit closer than it actually was. Anyway, Saw versus Sangal, the next game up. And then the last game of the day is going to be the Bulgarian Classic. It's the 2 best Bulgarian teams at the moment by some distance. Voivoda versus 500 at the bottom right-hand side there of your screen. They've played against each other twice this year, and they're 1-1 in terms of best of 3. So this is the 3rd series of the best of 3, Sneaky.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to see. Obviously, I think was it 500 versus Voivoda in the finals of EDC 7, where 500 went on to win that. So obviously there is a bit of a grudge between these two teams. Obviously, some of the players have played with each other for years prior. I don't think there's any bitter rivalry, but there certainly is one in terms of looking to be that number 1 in the region. It's a fierce battle, and that means it should be a full distance series, if we're being honest here, Hayes. I reckon we will be going to a 3-map for the final series of the day. But regardless of that, why don't we take a look at one of our first 2 teams? Why don't we take a look at Sangal to start things off? As you said, they are the sort of underdogs in this matchup. Yeah. It's Fuzi, Skrunk, Soulflight, Kyubi, Corey, and the coach formerly of Bad News Eagles and Stikler. I was critical of him when I saw Sangal play before, because it appeared they were picking up some of his bad habits from the Bad News Eagles squad, playing a bit too individual, a bit too puggy. But I'm keen to see if they can prove me wrong today.
Okay. I mean, the one thing that I tend to be a bit critical of for Sangal is maybe their lack of an out-and-out star player. I think Fuzi, probably the one guy you'd make a case for being that player along with Soulfly, but it's like these guys have got a 1.08 and 1.09 rating over the past 3 months type of thing.
Yeah.
I think, excuse me, that might even just be in their tenure of the organization. Looking at it from the past 3 months itself, it's actually 1.1 for Fuzi and 1.07 for Soulfly. So it's looking all right. The one thing, the positive though for Sangal is they've got this quartet of fraggers. The trio of riflers in Soulfly, Corey, and QB are all on a good day, incredibly talented players and could
Yes.
actually fulfill that star player role. And then Fuzi on the AWP, he's a live wire as well when he's on form. So it's just you need the pieces to fall into place. And then the Sangal, the rosters are forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah, but I'm also going to pick up on what you said there. On a good day for Fuzi, Fuzi unfortunately has a lot of bad days. He can be very, very incredible as a young player, but he can also be pretty underwhelming on the server. It's sort of on a map-to-map basis. He's normally pretty solid on your overpasses, on your vertigos, but then he falls off a cliff sometimes on your ancients, on your Anubises. In fact, he was outshone by, I think Corey picked up an AWP last time I saw them on Anubis, and he was massively outshining Fuzi just in terms of his fluidity and positioning. So we need a good Fuzi to show up today if you want to beat a team in Saw that is relatively in form. But speaking about Saw, why don't we take a look at them as
Yeah.
well? It's Mutiris, Roman, Story, Ujerx, Just, and the coach in Arky. Obviously, the core three of this team, very history players in this Portuguese scene. And they've been making an incredible splash recently, which is not something I expected to see this year.
Yeah, actually looking like they're in some good form right now. Currently ranked 24th in the world. The name that just jumps out of the off the screen there in your face, it has to be Ujerx, right? He's just in phenomenal form at the moment. I just love watching this guy play. He dominates the server. He's incredibly consistent right now. You can just catch him. He does so well with the entry, Sneaky. I
Yes.
think he's attempting something around 30% of the entry kills for his team on the T side, and he has a 1.15 rating on the T side with his entry kills. So this guy with the rifle does so much more work in that department than most players at this level.
Yeah, and that's honestly remarkable statistics. He is such a promising young star, and I cannot wait to see him continue in the upper echelons of this 1.5 scene. I mean, they've not really been tested massively against teams of their own caliber. I'd argue that Mouse and Big are a tier above, and Movistar, you never know which Movi you're going to get on a given day. But they did manage to beat Imperial, the major squad, of course, and also a team called Believe recently, who I'm not entirely sure who that lot is, a different caliber entirely. But yeah, they've been able to be competitive against some of the biggest teams in the scene, and I hope they can bring that form today against Sangal, as this
Yeah.
is one of the teams I want to see winning CCT tournaments.
Yeah, and it's like when you're looking at Saw, you're thinking, okay, here you are, tier 1.5 team. This is where you need to punish the up and coming, the
Yeah.
teams who are breaking into the higher level of tier 2. You just want to punish them. You want to show that you're a cut above that level right now, that, they aren't really able to go toe to toe with you. It's about making a statement at this point. Obviously, Saw going to be going into the RMR Sneaky, looking to
Yeah.
try and qualify for the major. They fell heartbreakingly short, I think 2 RMRs
Oh
ago.
man,
That
point one of a
1v1 on
second.
Inferno, 15-14, Jame versus Stododo, back a quad. That broke my
No,
heart. That
it,
absolutely broke my heart.
it's
I wanted Saw to qualify so badly in that moment.
I'll be honest, I'm a huge Outsiders fan, so I breathe the biggest sigh of relief I think I've ever breathed. But
Wow,
it's
okay.
interesting that you mentioned Stododo. I thought Saul would collapse after Stododo left the roster, but Ujerx has been
Yes.
honestly a better
Revolutionary.
revolutionary replacement. But oh hello there, we got an ancient coming in to start things off. That's one of the maps I criticised Fuzi on. Hopefully we see an informed Fuzi on ancient today. That would be nice to see. It's actually normally the IGL of Skrunk, who in recent times has been the top performer there for the likes of Sangal. Interesting to see what happens there. Inferno, pretty solid pick for Sangal. They've played it the most times in the past 3 months with 22 maps played. 59% win rate there versus their only 33% over 15 played on Ancient. And then
Yeah.
Anubis as our decider is a Decent map for Saw, 8 played, 50% win rate. Not so great for Sangal, 29% win rate over their 7 maps played.
It was always going to be difficult for Sangal here in the veto. Saw certainly had the upper hand. I mean, they both sort of ban each other's strengths off the bat. Saw banning, but just by the nature of their permabans, they're banning each other's strengths.
Yes.
Saw would have loved to have picked Nuke, for example. Not going to happen because that's Sangal's perma. So Ancient is a bit of a punish pick, as you suggest there. Inferno in response, not a punish pick. It's a map that Saw, generally allow through the veto, often gets picked into them or maybe left as a decider. I'm a bit surprised Saw didn't go with the Vertigo. I think they sort of decide, let's rather play to our opponent's weaknesses than our strengths, knowing that plays to their strengths as well. So you could make a case for that one for sure. And then Anubis to decide. Yeah, I guess if you're Sangal, it makes sense at that point. You don't really want to play Saw on Vertigo, do you?
Yeah. But my problem with Anubis is, when we first saw playing Anubis, I thought they were going to be one of the top 3 teams in the world on that map. They looked incredible. They were 16-4ing, 16-2ing, and now they've slowed to a grinding halt. They've not had the best results on it recently or in CCT. I seem to remember they lost 16-6 to Bad News Eagles, and I don't know what it is about CCT for Saw, but they do great on the majority of online tournaments they play in, but this is their crux. They can never quite make it to the finals here in CCT, but that's what they'll be looking to do here. As Hayes, we will be heading into the action, starting things out on Ancient.
Yeah, they placed 3rd and 4th in the CCT South Europe Series 2, so they lost out in the semi-final there. That was in that game to Bad News Eagles, I believe. That was their highest placement in a CCT event. So let's see if they can go one step further, get to the final, win the whole event. We're going to find out, sneaky into the pistol round we go here on Ancient.
Yeah,
Ground being taken in towards middle.
Ujerks ebbs his way in towards Donut. There's a 2-man crossfire here on Fuzi. Dastardly with the Julie's cuts down too. A 2-man trade comes through though. Saw still very much alive and kicking in this one. It's a 3v3. Skrunk peeking at a temple. Does have a defuse kit. Would be pretty rough if he went down, and he will. It's just a minute. I know what I'm doing here. Catches another head to the tally. Roman dancing around temple. It's a risky weapon pickup and will allow Soulfly a trade. Oh my goodness me, Hayes.
They're going B. Sangal have been done a doozy. Bomb plant going to come through for free. Just has remained behind, posted up, waiting. Bomb plant, they do look to clear it the whole way. Corey gets cut down. Soulfly trades. He's also got the kit. Muterus takes up a very forward position right now. Soulfly has an idea this could be the case. He knows he's got time on his side right now as he edges his way forward. Muterus, does he peek on a timer? He does, and that's so unfortunate as Soulfly switches back, looking in towards the bomb site. His opponent steps out, and it's the pistol round that goes the way of the Portuguese squad.
That was a pretty exciting pistol round. I could not have told you at any point which team was going to win it out. And just lovely headshot onto Corey. With him dying, it made it very, very close. Materius, though, they'll seal out the deal. So despite the defuse kit being picked on up, Sangal will be pipped to the post, and the T-side get off to the better start. Now, Saw, plenty of upgraded weaponry behind them as Sangal do go for the 4-spy. 3 Deagles, a P250 and an MP9. Not your everyday buy, as Ujerks manages to dodge the full brunt of those nades, only taking 10 damage, and still look in a pretty good position to take this second round and reset Sangal's economy.
Yeah, just all the way that the round is set up right now, right? Just only one player over towards the B-bomb side. Ujerks going to be clearing him. Lots of damage done there by Soulfly across 2 players. Unfortunately, none of it fatal. Normally, you'll see a team just sort of gamble stack in these positions, or just sort of remain where they are and hope that the T side rotates in towards them. Otherwise, they just save, right? You're not really going to stand much of a chance winning the round if you try all rotate and retake the bomb site. Very unlikely.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that the MP9 had no backup in towards the back of cave there.
Yeah, I think they throw those nades early in the round, 2 or 3 nades. They try and feign as though there's a number of players over towards that B-bomb site, and they just post one.
No, you're right in that sense, but Materius is right on the money with a headshot onto Corey. Skrunk dinked down as well. Realizes that this is going to be quite the ordeal if he wants to get anything done. Flash rains over, but Roman, he's not blinded at all. Nicely done by the Portuguese side, and oh, hello! QB Swift one Deegan middle, deals with Ujerks quite nicely, rids him of his armor and his Mach 10. Of all the guns to lose, it's not the worst in the world. It's more the armor that you will be concerned about. But all in all, that's a clean round for Saw.
Cleaner than probably should have been when you look at the amount of damage that was done to the players to stay alive.
Yeah.
They'll be happy with that result, dealing with the force spy, getting across the line. Muterus had to lock it down in towards middle. Eventually, QB did get a frag in the round. QB's one of my favorite players on Sangal, by the way. I don't know if I've actually preached the story to you yet in the game that we've cast together, but I think that QB holds the key for Sangal to really burst into the high level of tier 2 consistently. I think he's actually got some real stardom potential. I think his ceiling is the highest on the team. It's just about gaining a bit more experience and consistency.
No, I completely agree. He's a really solid player.
I mean, he's 17.
Your point about consistency is probably the thing I stand with most. But yeah, being 17, there's plenty of time to improve as Ujerks darts strong. I know it's against the pistols, but that was a clean headshot there on Tafuzi. Hasn't fragged since his Julie days. But yeah, this is just the pistol saver Sangal. It's a formality. Looking to maybe get a kill or two. Best case scenario, save over a rifle. Saw play this one very, very carefully. They know they don't need to give up anything unnecessarily. And that's exactly what they'll do. But I think I read somewhere, might have been an HLTV article, but the peak of a player is around the age of about 21, 22. That's when they achieve their sort of like their full star potential. And at just 17, that's 5 years away. So he's got plenty of time to hone his craft, you know?
So what, that gives you a year or two sneaky left remaining there?
Oh god, I've still not played a match since December.
You're running out of time, mate. You're running out of time.
Oh, so is Muterus.
Something I do want to mention is Saw have kind of got themselves, as you mentioned, into that sort of tier 1.5 space, and it means they don't have to play nearly as much Counter-Strike as they used to, right? Where they had to go through more qualifiers. For example, they would have been invited into the group stage, not the playoffs a lot more. Now they've consistently sort of remained in that top 30, so they get invited later into the competition, right? So over the past month, for example, they've played 23 maps. And over the past 3 months, they've played 51 maps. Over the past month, Sangal have played 37 maps. And over the past 3 months, they've played 82 compared to the 51. So just an indication of the volume of Counter-Strike, you know, the disparity between these two teams in terms of how much they have to play.
But it's one of the reasons that teams in this tier are so inconsistent. They just have so much CS to play. They can never truly, properly plan for their opposition because if you're playing, what, 2, sometimes even 3 best-of-3s in a day, it becomes near impossible to keep track of all the little intricacies of your opposition's game plan. You just need to make sure you yourself are showing up as an individual and hope that they haven't done too much homework on you, which is where counter-stratting comes into play quite nicely. But no, if you look at teams like Sangal, I think the biggest offender was Forza last year, playing 120 maps in just 3 months.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, man. And as much as it helps with the rankings a bit, obviously helps with experience for the players, it is mentally taxing and does make it hard to win very consistently.
Well, they're averaging a map and a half a day at that point, basically. So that's just insane numbers. Right now, it is the first gun round of the map, though. Corey able to open up their slight gap in the smoke, exposed, and will be capitalized upon by Corey. And he just follows it up with the clean spray through the smoke there. Second frag snapped up. QB called into action as a result. Has lost his teammate in Donut. Doesn't really have much room to work with here. Either steps up. Good damage done to you, Jerks. And actually, excuse me, he gets the frag. Great work out of QB to double down.
Yeah, that was a super clean round from Sangal. They win out the opening gun round, and that's arguably the most important of the first 4. So, on the flip side, their money is a little bit all over the place. It appears they are still going for the investment here. I mean, Story can play an AWP if he wants to. Might just be the hero AK play, perhaps? As Saw actually going to call the timeout off the back of this one. Roman might have jumped the gun with that purchase there, but regardless, Sangal, they jump Saw with their guns and put that impressive first up on the board. A nice sight hold. Good individual plays.
Good work from Corey as well, in particular, to start off the round there with his 2 kills. Just want to, do you remember when there used to be the bug with the auto buy where, like, let's say you had 3,700 and you auto bought, and it would buy like Galil, Kevlar, and then armor, and then utility instead of AK head armor. And then you would actually get like round restarts when that would happen. And I think what would often happen is a player would just like preemptively buy before the team, and then they would just be like, bug buy bug, we just got to reset. But you don't get that anymore because the bug's not in effect, so you don't get that luxury of a reset after you make a mistake. Not to say that's what happened here. I mean, the investment actually looks pretty good for the T side.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what year was that though? Like 2000?
That might have been like 2015,
15, 16 or something?
Yeah. Not later than 16.
Because I started watching in 2015, I started playing in 2016, so in terms of the CS ecosystem, I was quite late to the party. The story certainly isn't. Corey goes down early doors. It's a nice AWP shot to rattle off. The Saw now play 5v4, already starting significantly better than they did in the previous. They don't just go bolting out towards the A bomb site. They take nice mid control. They've got B lane, and they will give up anything towards A halls for now, as Roman is sent round to bag the bomb. And if they do execute towards B here, they will just have Soulflight effectively in a 1v4.
Yeah, playing for the retake right now, actually, and he doesn't really have any crowd control utility either. No molly, no smoke to keep his opponents at bay, and so they're just taking contact right now as they start to make their way forward. No indication at all, and now they start to make their move, but they already have full control. Soulfly can have a job to do, although Fuzi stands tall, as does Soulfly. Okay, all of a sudden, man advantage in play. Saw overextend. They bite off more than they need to there, and they end up choking it out.
Yeah, it's a bit of a slip up here, as the nade looks to slip on past, attack the bomb carrier. Very little damage dealt to Roman. Soulfly looks to rectify that here. Dancing in towards the long side as Story edges his way out. Does indeed have that aforementioned AWP. Spins out, spins a jaw of Fuzi. Great shot. As that bomb time is ticking on down now. Sangal needs to get a move on, but Roman finds one. Readjusts, stays alive, and just needs to continue buying time. Gets another frag, and Roman from the back of the bomb site. That is gorgeously well played. 3 to Vitali as Story starts things off and peeks in at a cave for another gorgeous frag in the post plant.
Oh man, Roman plays that remarkably well. You love to see that, because first it's the discipline to stay tucked in behind the pillar. He was there for a while before he eventually steps out. Times the peaks to perfection as well. Knows when to preserve his life, knows when to swing out, knows when to extend as well. Go for that wide swing there to get the kill onto Soulfly. So great work coming through from Roman in the post plant. Look at the kill distribution for Saw. Nearly everybody on 4 frags right now, only just with 3. Great response after they lose a round, win the gun round immediately afterwards. I did think, as you mentioned, they'd sort of slipped up a little bit there by extending too deep in towards long and short.
No,
but they
kept a handle. They were vibing. They were good. They were fine. Zoo Jerks, he might not be. That's fine.
Drilling out. Dead man.
He doesn't clear his corner, does he? Oh, Fuzi. Bit awkward. Soulfly gets another. Still looking a bit messy in towards middle here.
Oh.
And Story, very lucky to still be alive, Hayes.
Yeah, that's the bomb that's been spotted as well, though. Justa's going to take control. Molly actually misses the mark. Oh, no. Look at QB's position. No! QB!
Oh, no.
Story's so low. In the meantime, Roman's gone into Temple. Okay, I have no idea what's going on.
It's such an all-over-the-place round, and somehow Roman dies as well to Corey. And they go back towards B, and okay, sure. Just does that. Very complicated name when speaking in English. Is just as a surprisingly useful word. Regardless, Gyubi could be a surprisingly useful piece of the puzzle. Can't quite spot Just through the edge of the smoke there. Just appears to be expecting his every move as the smoke fades. Oh, the timing is awkward. Gyubi spots Just. I know that much was oh, dearie me. Just wins at the perfect time, and Saw are now up 5-1 on their T side. It's not been very clean, but they are at least making it work on the Saw side. The Sangal, a valiant effort on just the pistols there to get things down to a 1v2. Corey especially with that kill onto Roman. It's great game sense, but swinging alone without support from his teammate does effectively put that one in the ground.
Yeah, you could understand the school of thought. He was hoping to try and beat those T players to the punch, but yeah, he falls and pretty much costs them another round at that point. Does look like Saw are going to be keeping up the pace here into the B bomb site. They go. Just leads the charge. Soulfly, he's just reloading at this point, able to deal a lick of damage, but he's gone down, and Just is not content with the one kill. He wants more. Story locks down the back line, and that's the round over inside the first 15 seconds.
Yeah, very, very clean stuff from Saw. Sangal completely dispositioned, overwhelmed. And now they just need to try and scamper away, save those guns, save that util. Fuzi gets a nice B-hop in there as he fades away towards Donut. I don't think Saw are going to hunt this. They don't have a crazy amount of money in the back pocket. Might hope for an exit or two towards T-Spawn here, but yeah, it's going to be an entrapment of Sangal players towards the A-bomb site here. And perhaps I was mistaken. Roman is sort of extending for a hunt here. Regardless, 6 on the board for Saw as they store straight through the defensive lines of Sangal. It's clean stuff so far for the Portuguese squad.
Yeah, they're going to be really happy with the start that they've had here to Ancient.
Yeah, go back 3
Sangal,
months. 6 is all you need on a T side.
That's true. I mean, you'd still probably be content with 6 now. I'd say that's the bare minimum you'd want on your half. Obviously, with the changes that came in most recently, with the deepening of CT spawn and changing of a few angles, it means it is a bit more challenging for the CT side.
Yeah, I think they were good changes. It has made the map a lot more competitive, but almost a little too T-sided in Tier 2. I'm not sure what it is about Tier 2 lately, but I've seen a lot of dominant T-side storylines, even on the maps like Overpass, but I'll get back to that musing in a second. Scooby might not be musing for too much longer if he gets spotted by Stories or Pierre. And spotted, Molly deployed, fades away. Good discipline there. Will he continue to be pressured? It doesn't seem likely. Instead, a lot of util is forced out from the A player.
Exactly.
Here.
That's why it's successful from the T side. It's just showing that presence alone has already baited that util out of QB. So Sangal are going to be more prone to rotate somebody in towards that A site now because doesn't have that same ability to buy time anymore. HE grenade, how does it not do more damage than that? Okay, all right, unlucky there for Fuzi.
I'll never understand
taking their time
names.
in the round here. Oh, Corey has to use his smoke to extinguish the flames. Wait, it takes so long. Takes so much damage in the process. At least he's going to be able to get back to the safety of the A bomb site. Saw gaining so much control here, Sneaky. But how do they finish off the round from here?
Well, they've done good damage onto Corey. They've kept 2 players positioned towards Cave. Whole round could fall apart with a kill onto Fuzi, though, and Story. That's a lovely headshot. Forces a rotation from Corey. Hold on a minute. If they're ending A, they've actually got the B players rather worried about this. They take it back towards CT, but Story's bagged another. Kyubi falls. What a round from the T side. Orpa here. Absolutely cooking up a storm for the Saw side. And Corey, oh, he can't even find the first. That is just lovely from Just. As the bomb will now be planted, and there's very little the Skunk can do about it. Can't even spam the right angle.
Yeah, the only way that Saw could have lost the round there after they get into the 5v3 is if the bomb was dropped from the Temple player, but that doesn't happen. Great kill coming through from Just. I love the patience from Story, as you say. Huge impact out of him on the T side with his AWP. First frag found on Fuzi, who seemingly wanted to play for some information, peering in towards middle, wanted to figure out what was going on. Pays for that information with his life, which is never ideal. And then Saw know that they've already baited that Molly and Smoke out of the B anchor with a minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. That's why they feel comfortable going back towards A with so little time left on the clock, Sneaky. So that was just great game sense, great decision making coming through from them. Wonderful call out of Muturus.
And no save for Soulfly to add insult to injury for Sangal. It's all going perfectly right now for the Portuguese lot. And they're showing no signs of slowing down. As you said, great patience from Story, and that's a gorgeous frag to find. Despite being dinked, still pulls off the shot. And Just with his own kill, effectively seals the lid on that round. And Sangal, well, they're going to need a lot more than a tactical timeout to get themselves back into the game here. Saw's bank balance is blooming. They're about to win out the half next round if Sangal don't fight back. It just goes from bad to worse, and this is what I mean about Ancient. It's a map that Sangal can be super good on, but I can't even be that critical of Fuzi, as he's not really even had an AWP this game. Does miss out that shot onto Story, but I'll forgive him, as it was a pretty rough angle to adjust to.
Ancient has been a reliable map for Saw in recent times. They It was one of their features in their qualification for the RMR. They beat Heat and they beat Yano on the map. So both important victories as they got across the line in that last chance qualifier. As you say, massive round here for Sangal to prove they still have what it takes to be competitive in this first map. Corey through the smoke actually will exchange a favorable amount of damage there onto Uterus. Fuzi flashed back, taken down. Oh man, love that awareness out of Saw. Looking so waxed and well-oiled right now.
Yeah, their utility has been fantastic. It's been one of the key points of their game plan. As Scrunk has no idea what's going on in the middle here. Ujerks buffs his lines a bit, and the nade won't quite land. But look at how hungry he is for these kills. He continues a hot pursuit as Soulfly does trade one back, but Sangal is still playing at a man disadvantage. And look at the HP bar on Corey. He's got 5 HP left. Materis is round this corner. One headshot is all it'll take. But he decides that no, he's not even tucking. It's a freebie for Materis. Now double the manpower of their opposition, and Saw, they're just not putting a foot wrong here, Hayes. Even look at this from Materis. He snuck into CT. Soulfly's about to walk into his crosshairs. And QB has a lot to do, and we'll find one, but not the second. Easy round in the end for Saw. 3 left alive, and Sangal are flailing.
Yeah, one of the frustrating things there for Sangal is they try to change up the approach, right? They put 3 players in towards middle at the start of the round. They're able to gain that early control, but then look at the response here from Saw. Fuzi gets flashed off, taken down. Ujex continues his charge in towards mid, despite the fact he's low on health. Muterus gets ahead of that smoke there, catches out Corey, and the round is pretty much done at that point. 8-1, no money in play here for the CT side. Saw have already won the first half. The only round Sangal have won so far was the first gun round.
Yeah, I thought that was a sign of good things to come, Hayes. I was impressed by how easily they won that opening gun round. The Saw adapted so quickly that, well, they've now put, what, another 4 rounds up on the board in a row? Corey edges his way forward, looking for something with his dastardly deagle, but not been singing particularly true in this game just yet. The Scrunk, actually a player I was calling out to be one of the top performers on Ancient here for Sangal, going 006. He's had 0 impact in this game. The only play I remember him making was a spray through the smokers, then he's chased down and murdered where he stands towards the A site. It's been a rough one for him, I completely agree. So on the flip side, though, they're vibing. That nade will shake them up a bit.
Yeah, they're pushing in towards a full 5-man stack, or at least a 4-man stack over towards this B-bomb site. 5th player not too far away towards middle. Corey gonna get boosted up. You're peering above the smoke. More damage done. Frag comes through as well. Soulfly gets a kill. And another frag coming through as well. Ujex wants to just go for the trade. Oh my god, that's very risky, but it ends up working out from QB 1v2 with the 5-7. Ujex is on for the ace here. He's just been the one getting all the trades amongst the chaos.
Yeah, it's been pretty mad. He even misses a Molotov, mollies himself off. The story will deny the ace. 4 kills to Ujex, so up against the pistols. He'll be happy with a couple of eco frags. Saw themselves probably not too happy with how close that round got with such weak weaponry up against them. It was a very good nade on the top of ramp, in fairness. Outside of that, Saw, they do find 9 on the board. They have 9 times the rounds of their opposition. And Scrunk is almost James Bonding with 017. Pretty sure that's a mobile phone area code from the UK for anyone curious.
Oh, God. Well, that's unfortunate. That's a new one. New title.
Yeah, we got 016 for Manchester. 017. Somewhere else in that region, I'm sure. Materis and Ujex don't really give a damn about mobile codes. They just want entry frags. Oh.
Yeah, great opening kill coming through from Corey. Inflicts damage onto Just as well. You have got Scrunk who's in position. Ujex should get traded. Doesn't account for the second player to be in that position. In the meantime, though, kills do continue to come through. QB with the AWP. They didn't know he was there until he's able to activate and get a frag. But off the back of that, Saw have all the information in the world, Sneaky. They know where the remaining 2 players are positioned, so they just commit into the B bomb site and plant for free. There's A-kits in play here. There's some utility as well, but it's going to take them a while before they can even get in a position to consider the retake.
Oh, no.
Story's already seen him. This is the freest frag of his life. Oh, nope, Story. Okay. I'm surprised he falls back there, actually. Was he scared he was spotted, maybe?
I mean, he was spotted because it was a right-angle peek for the opposition, but the problem is, that's a very risky maneuver to be making. If you're going to jump anywhere, surely you'd opt for double doors because you're right in the middle of nowhere. No, he makes it across, so I guess no harm, no foul on that one. Regardless, These things in a 2v1. Roman does his job on the bomb site, planting and finding a defending frag. And, well, Hayes, I'll be honest, this has been a ridiculously dominant game. It's 10-1 for Saw now, as Sangal have been underwhelming. Underwhelming on their CT side.
I think that's putting it politely, Sneaky. That's using nice words to describe what's going on here. This has been a disaster. This is in the playoffs.
This is the round of 16. Sangal
Exactly.
qualified with sweat and tears. Were they 3-2 bracket? I think they were. It wasn't the cleanest of qualifications. I mean, they had
were 2-1 up, then 2-2, and then they beat Miles NXT in that 2-2 bracket.
Yeah, an impressive 2-0 loss to Astralis Talent, I must say. Who Astralis Talent went 3-0 in the Swiss stage, also beating Voivoda up next. I don't know what they fed those kids for breakfast, but regardless, the 0-2 loss for Sinners was pretty rough for Sangal as well. I'll be honest, the opposition that they beat to get here is nowhere near the same caliber as Saw. I mean, they beat an academy team, a walking wounded mixed team 2-1, and K23, who I don't even know what K23 are doing anymore. It's been pretty rough since Outsiders poached all their players, though.
They're cooking there. They've got something going on. I think that they will be a team to be reckoned with. Look at Soulfly. Oh my god, very aggressive coming through from him. Spray transfer is perfect. U-Jerks eventually trades, but the damage has been done. QB elsewhere gets himself a frag as well. Does Muterus find the trade? He does. Okay. Maybe someone bails Saw out of the round here. Ooh. Oh, U-Jerks. The adjustment. Are you kidding? I thought he was done for. I'd written him off for good after he pulls his crosshair off the angle.
I was oohing. I thought that was him dead. The headshot looked perfectly lined up, and it was. But he flicks round, as you said, a dastardly readjustment as Skrunk looks to get this round back into contention. Vuja spins this corner. There'll be a free frag for the opposition IGL.
Not like
and his first frag, having mentioned it, Skrunk is yet to put a kill on the board as he sits 0-1-8. Corey on the opposite side of the map. Yeah, you're right. This is looking pretty damn bad now again for Sangal. Skrunk is the only one in the right position, and he has a FAMAS to deal with all of this, and a Molotov will cut him off from retaking, at least for now.
And he even took a tick to the flames, by the way, so that's information that a player is in cave. Corey's got the kit. 4 versus 2. You cannot afford to lose this against Sangal. Muterus steps out, gets the kill on 1, information on the 2nd. Corey charges his way through. How does U-Jerks play this? He doesn't have health. Very awkward right now, tucked in towards cave, but he's holding an off angle. Corey clearing out the angles right now as he charges his way forward with Bob. You don't expect U-Jerks to be there. Corey's wondering what on earth is going on.
And over 2 KD with another multi-frag to Vitali. 3 in total come that one. And a perfectly played post-plant after Soulfly does that. Soulfly puts in such a ridiculous effort. And the fact that Sangal still can't pull it over the line is a very, very worrying talking point. They had every advantage in that round. A 4v2, as you said, Hayes. And now they're back down to just a hero rifle, and Skrunk still has 0 frags to supplement his belt of utility.
That's got to be a final nail in the coffin. I mean, normally would be a bit of a stretch to say that's the final nail in the coffin just going into the 13th round, but just the way that they lost that round as well. Their star player gives them a phenomenal opening to the round. You've got to think, you know, what's going on there with Q as well. He's got a kill and then he's just charging through a main, continuing to push forward there in a 4v2. Means that the trade is up for grabs. Soulfly falls. That's the M4 on the deck. Skrunk bites the dust as well. 0 and 10 for the IGL. Disastrous half for him.
Deary me. Are we going for like a 14-1.5 here, Hayes? I've not seen anything from Sangal to impress me as to otherwise.
Uzi, Corey, losing these rounds, man.
Just a couple of upgraded pistols. Just a couple of guys. They were up to no good. They started causing trouble in the neighborhood, Hayes. Fortunately, that trouble did absolutely nothing to face Saw as they're still continuing with their wild winning ways. They could just walk onto a free A bomb site if they wanted to here. As, well, Sangal are effectively trapped.
I think that they are still going to split in towards B here. They're making their way up middle right now. Actually, no, look at that. The bomb starts to depart the scene. Util being thrown in by Story. That's going to keep Sangal interested on the B bomb site right now. But it's the perfect read. Saw could not have read the situation any better.
Yeah, they just waltzed on over to A, block off Fuzi with util.
They didn't even have the info though, Sneaky. There was it's not even like they knew that for sure, but they just feel so confident in their decision making. It's not even like they're just fragging like beasts. They're in a great space right now.
Oh man, it just goes from bad to worse. Finally, QB kills Roman, but it means nothing. The economy is booming. They can afford buys until the end of the first half, which is just a few rounds away now as QB edges his way forward. Will he even be afforded a save yet? As Ujerks, oh, he's just so good, and Kyubi fluffs his line so badly. That was a free kill. He just can't get anything done with it. Penultimate round of the first half here. It's 12-1. We can write this map off entirely. It's 1-0 to Saw. There's nothing that Sangal could do here to make me change my mind or even get their way back into this. It's simply not possible.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. Look at Ujerks. He's 18-7 in 13 rounds. I mean, that's averaging a kill and a half a round, basically.
Jesus. It's just ridiculous. It really is. As Ujerks has been flashed through a smoke, Corey's buggered off into Donut. They take full mid control again. Skronk gets brutalized. He still has 0 kills. Molotov doesn't quite reach him, but it keeps him pinned.
Oh, it does.
Oh,
it does.
No.
It spreads. Man,
That's horrendous.
When it rains, it pours, Sneaky. And when you're in fire, it burns. QB, second orb, good kill coming through. He's baiting in Corey as well. Muterus will fall for free. 4 versus 2, the second of the half. The previous one was dropped by Sangal. Surely not again, right? Can't happen again. It won't happen again. I don't believe. There's no ways. There we go.
You don't believe in the 1v4? Just
I
edges
don't.
his way up. Molotov rains through. Baits out a shot from the Orpa, but hold on a minute. There's another Orpa. Sangal, with the money to afford a double-up setup, finally claw around across the line. And it takes 3 kills from Fuzi to get it done. That is 12-2 now, as Saw continue to batter and bruise the Sangal CT side. And they have another opportunity here to do so. Will the CTs stave off the offensive with their double-up setup? It does at least give them the best chance they've had in a long time. As Skronk would be great to see him get a kill here.
You just don't want to end the half without getting a single kill. You don't. That's a black mark on your career, Sneaky.
Honestly, it is. Yeah, a 0 kill half when your team needs you the most. The Soulflight needs a kill here, needs to avoid going down. The nade is brutal, but they do so little damage, it seems. The second one does a lot more, but just
that's
even
so
further
rough.
Damage. Yeah, a 7.62 round straight through the cranium.
HE grenades, mollies, flashes, spam. That was impossible for Soulfly to stay alive. Absolutely impossible. QB's actually proven to be very effective with the second AWP so far. Unfortunately, this time, though, not going to be able to have that same sort of impact. Story will cut him down. 5 versus 3. Sangal have no idea where to position themselves. Saw have full control of the A site. The bomb's over towards B right now. They're just playing with their food. They're drawing rotations.
Oh, no.
They're probably not even going to get the bomb plancher. They'll just finish off the map with kills alone. But go on, Skrunk. Surely right. Got to be at least one in the tank here.
Honestly, I'm not sure, man, from this position. Story.
I have faith.
Oh, very lucky to be alive there. Keeps the 2K dream alive.
Go on, Skrunk.
Just, oh no! He's only got both of them a 4K in the round. That's 3 players now with an over 2KD, a plethora of multi-frags. That is an embarrassment from Sangal.
They won the first gun round, Sneaky. That was the 4th round of the map. 13-2. What a wonderful performance coming through from Saw in the half. All their players had star player moments throughout that half. Even Roman, he's 7 for 7. But do you remember the 5th round? The round that was won for Saw? That was the round immediately after Sangal won their first. And that was with Roman's heroics dancing around that B bomb site.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Everyone's had their moments.
And he had another moment in a 2v2 post plant. And it should frag quite nicely onto the retake in CT. While Seorpin's Story did the rest of the damage down towards B lane. I say rest of the damage, he just stayed alive, and that helped them win out the round. So you're right, everyone on the Saw side has had a perfect hero moment. There's just looks to have another one here in the pistol. We'll get shut on down, but Ujerks is there to receive. The rest of them finds 2. Come on, Scrunk. I believe it.
No, he didn't have ammo. He
Oh,
didn't have
no.
ammo. He was reloading. How does he even jump around the corner? Surely with the aim punch, that should have slowed him down. Great movement, great shots. Ujokes is up to 21 kills here in 16 rounds. QB needs to find 3 of his own here to clutch this one out for his team out in the open, exchanging damage. Nothing fatal just yet, but he continues to be chipped away. Roman charges forward. QB with the nice adjustment there will plant the bullets in his brain. He's got time to play with here. This is certainly winnable for QB right now. Desperately trying to isolate these fights. Wants to connect on the headshot. Saw playing with him. Not able to get the frag. Okay, there we go. QB.
Oh my god!
Beautiful last kill as well. He salvages the pistol with the 1v4 clutch.
That is ridiculous. After everything Ujex does down towards the B ramp, you would have thought it was a guaranteed round for Saw. They'd be closing this map out here and now, but still, somehow Kyubi pulls off a masterclass in the pistol, just keeps isolating those 1v1s and wins all of them. He wins all of them out in a disgustingly clean fashion. And Sangal's T side, well, it has a little bit of bite in it at least. They got an investment, a fairly decent one as they bludgeon their way towards B lane. But hold on a minute, look at Saw in middle. Scrunk, no, why are you jumping? Don't make noise, there's no need. Falls away. Maybe he was acting as a distraction though. But Sangal still don't make any moves towards the B bomb site whilst that's all going on.
Does look like Sangal are going to reassess the situation after showing all that presence over towards the B bomb site. They're now going to group up and head in towards middle, probably finish off on that A bomb site, which is certainly the weaker of the two right now as things stand. And actually going to get even worse as Story starts to consider rotating out, but decides against it. Wait, where's Sangal going from here? Sneaky. Actually, they're going to double back.
That could be a problem. They're about to walk into the B stack, which is being reinforced here by Story. This would not be the first time I've seen Sangal lose a round to predominantly pistols. Ujerks down the ramp, sees two. Shadows finds the first frag. Story does trade though. Time is a ticking, but just with a 5-7, bags another. Oh, and he's down to 2k. It's a 2v2 now. Story needs to go huge, and they don't clear him out. The bomb is dropped. Scrog lost alive, yet to frag. 1v2.
Oh no.
And I think Sangal might have done it again.
They don't know that he's here, but they're looking in this direction. Scrum won't get a single kill. One away for Saw to win back. They lose the pistol, but they win the force immediately afterwards. They corral Sangal in towards B. They don't even know that they do it, but they're able to make it work. And Just stands out in the open with the 5-7. He was the difference maker, right? This is the moment right here. One kill comes through. Huge damage. A second frag as well. Story goes unchecked, and he punishes them.
It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous that Sangal can lose a round like that in the fashion they did. It's always the pesky 5-7 towards the top of B ramp that you got to be most scared of in a pistol round like that. So don't leave it so late. There's no need. And if you know you're up against a weaker buy, why not just go A where you can outrange the majority of your opponents?
Yeah.
You had smokes, you had flashes. I'm assuming...
It was such a gamble because they just also played without information.
Yeah, they saw, I think, what, 1-2 players before that entire debacle came on through? It was Scrunk jumping around in middle.
Okay.
Fuzi, that's a nice shot. She'd been able to do a bit more of that with the AWP in the previous half, but regardless, a 5v4. And there is hope, at least, but not for long. The Scrunk has died 15 times, with guess how many kills, Hayes? 0. No kills.
It's an egg. He has a fat egg. After 18 rounds played. This is probably the longest in his career on HLTV he's ever gone without a frag. I would wager that's the case here.
It might be the worst HLTV rating I've ever seen. He has had 0 impact this game at all. I don't give a damn about his calling. His calling's clearly had no impact either in a 3-14. This is possibly the least impactful game I've ever seen from an individual. There's Ujerks and Just. They just keep fragging. Corin Kyubi, the special K's. A tasty breakfast cereal, but also a tasty snack for Saw, it seems. It's okay,
oh,
perhaps not. The snack bites
D.
back. Kyubi, another 1D, leaving Roman in a sticky position, but Corey goes down and Saw 5-15. I tried to hype it up, but nothing happens, Hayes.
Unfortunately, it was the force for Sangal as well goes awry. I mean, it's definitely happened before that players have finished halves without any kills. I'm sure it's happened where they've finished maps as well, but not a top 50 team. Like, you know, it's going to be like when a 130th ranked team plays a 33rd ranked team. That's when it might happen, right? Like, you don't expect it in a matchup like this, Sneaky.
Yeah, even Carrigan's privy to a kill here and there on his dark days on the FaZe Clan lot. I think he's probably the best example as the most similar IGL to Scrunk, just obviously a huge tier above. And he is the best IGL in the world. It's indisputable at this point. He's got his major. He's got his titles.
You mean like the greatest?
The most.
Or you mean the best of all time?
I mean the best IGL ever is Carrigan. He works wonders.
I guess after he wins the major, kind of solidifies that. Before you'd probably say Glaive, but yeah, I think you can make a debate. And we're just going into podcast mode here because Saw are farming Sangal.
It's over. This game is over. We're going to have a quick chat afterwards. There's very little to sum up. Hold on. Scrunk is alive. Scrunk can still get
his
first kill. Can we get a Scrunk cam? Can the observer hear it? Just stay on Scrunk. Doesn't matter what happens.
Nothing else matters. Exactly.
He needs a kill. He's got a Tech 9. Oh no, it's got an Evil Genius sticker on. He's cursed himself. That's a problem, Hayes.
He's only gone and done this to himself, Sneaky.
I'm pretty sure. Is that called the? It's not called the Icarus Fell, is it? Same skin designer. No, it's just called like the Icarus or something. Regardless, I'm reading into the skins here. I'm trying to get Scrunk to do something, but my deep analytics imply that he probably won't get any.
Go on, lad! Yes, Scrunk! Let's go, baby!
He's even cheering! The one thing! Woo!
Scrunk, the man of the moment! He got his frag, Sneaky. That's the most exciting thing we've seen out of Sangal in this map so far, 16-3. That was a train wreck. That was a train wreck of a performance for Sangal.
I love the easy graffiti as well. Oh, it's a really good shot. It's a shame he does none other in the entire game.
You could see he was even aware of it, right? Like even the
little
after
jump,
he gets the kill,
like
a little celebration. Yeah, the easy spray paint. I mean, anything but easy was that map there for Sangal. That was very much not easy, Sneaky.
No, it was rough. Again, there's very little to break down. I will say, Sangal's CT-sided utility, for the most part, completely absent, pretty rough. They weren't very conservative with it. They used a lot early doors. I mean, we take one example of them prying towards the A bomb site, and not only is a Molotov used, a smoke chucked on over as well. That was a solo A player. They could have easily bludgeoned their way in there, but instead they wasted B players util as well, and then they just hit down the middle because Saw had an amazing game plan. They were wasting all of Sangal's added extras, and they also managed to outfrag them in pretty much every single capacity.
Yeah. Was a phenomenal performance. They pick up their map pick. I mean, convincingly, to say the least. Does mean Saw, the Portuguese team, take a 1-0 lead in the series. It's going to be Inferno up next, the pick of Sangal. So we're hoping to see a whole lot more out of them. Maybe they'll turn on their monitors. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it'll be the second map of this round of 16 playoff matchup.
very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move. One push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-Bet.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events! At each event, you can find special cases which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault. And the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
Well, hello there, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Sangal versus Saw. A nice bit of alliteration, but not so nice a ride for the likes of Sangal. He got absolutely obliterated, 16-3 on Ancient, the map pick of the Portuguese. Now, they look to have a better stature here on Inferno, but according to those 1xBet odds, they are not heavily favoured in said endeavour. It's still a pretty decent map for Saw here. 6 play, they've won on 4 of those occasions, and they played up against some pretty nifty opposition in the past couple of months. They've got good practice on it, and even better principles. Hayes, what do you reckon in terms of a result in this second map? Can Sangal claw things back, or will Saw be taking this 2-0?
I mean, just based on what we saw out of the individuals in the previous map, I think that Saw have to take this 2-0, especially because it's not like this is a punish pick into them or anything like that. I mean, it's not like they pick Inferno, but they certainly know how to play the map. QB knows his way around a USP, that's for sure. Great clean tap coming through from him. Molly forces him out of position. That A-bomb's like completely open for the taking right now. Saw don't know that. The longer they take, the worse off their position is going to be as well. Actually looks like Muterus is going to go back now to try and fake over towards B. He's got a smoke into P250. Botsart 1 wants to force the fight, starts to deploy the util, but look at the setup on the A-bomb site right now. It's going to be far more difficult for Saw to bypass.
He's actually wasted all of the CT util with that single play towards B, though. He's now baiting in a rotation as QB pulls in a headshot. Ujox falls. A nice crossfire towards the A site here, but Just doesn't give a damn about your crossfire. Spams down one and the second. Just a hero for Saw, exactly what they needed one. Has afforded them, at the very least, a bomb plant, which is a small victory in itself.
I have no idea how Justin's recovered this round. Massive kills coming through from him. I don't believe there's a kids in play here for Sangal. Time ticking away. 2 players coming through from short, 1 back towards long. Now that's Fuzi with the Julies. Smoke is faded. He knows there's 1 in towards Graveyard waiting for him to appear. Time continues to tick away. Bomb halfway gone now. Just does actually reappear. He's playing whack-the-mole right now as he smacks Sangal into the ground. Oh, finally Scrunk will try and activate as he pushes away, but he'll go down as well. Fuzi has no choice but to save the Julies. And Saw, how have they made that one work? They did that on hard mode, Sneaky.
Well, they just let Just off the reins. They take the collar off, let him run at them, and Roman seals the deal onto Fuzi. A very solid start there for the Portuguese side. They look to continue how they left off in the previous map, not letting anything past them. No wild, heroic pistol antics from Kyubi in this one, despite his best efforts. Jesus. That 180 was insane, but was just better. And with all that said and done, not going to be great for the confidence of Sangal, especially the man by the name of Skrunk.
I mean, that was a 5 versus 3. So, worst possible start for them here coming into the new map. New map, new me, that's the saying, but not necessarily looking like a new me here for Sangal.
He's just done his makeup for the occasion.
Yeah, I have. I put my nice shirt on and everything. Also because I was casting with you, to be fair.
Oh, stop it, you. Your flirtations know no bounds.
Yeah, you're taken now, Sneaky, aren't you?
I am. Very unfortunately.
By me,
unfortunately.
let's
Sorry,
go.
if she hears that, she's going to be very angry. But...
Listen, it does look like Saw are going to be just grouping up and heading in towards the B bomb site. They've got Roman in middle. He's going to get stepped on by a number of players. They do start to make their way forward. They have to go through the smoke here. They don't have the luxury of waiting, and they will.
Corey finds the first, but Materis is hot on the trade. Skrunk will not get his first kill just yet. Poor fella. Sorry, that's a really clean Galil spray, actually. 2v4.
Yeah, it is.
And Sangal have, funnily enough, been locked out of the bomb site and are probably going to lose the round. Kyubi spammed on down through a smoke. And Saw continue their winning ways, and they do it in a very clean fashion. Now, the first round that Sangal won in the previous map was the opening full gun round for both teams. Looks like that's going to be their first opportunity in the second map as well, as they do love a force fight. And Materis, well, he loves to get rid of them.
Well, it is a good result coming through there for Saw. Was some resistance that had to be dealt with, but really no stress or sweat in getting across the line against the force spy.
Can I just say something shocking?
Okay.
We're
All right, I'm
ahead
scared,
of
but go for
schedule.
it.
We're ahead of schedule in our third map of the day today.
Yeah,
It
that's
has been
third match. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sorry, third series. You're right.
Yeah.
It's been a day of dominance in CCT playoffs.
It has actually. You're right. Very rare. Incredibly rare. But you know what, Sneaky? There's still a relatively long night ahead. So hold your horses, mate. I'm sure you'll get your chance to do all the overtimes that you so desperately desire.
500 of Voivodas just around the bend.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what you're wishing for by saying something like that, but go off, King.
I'm wearing my CCT shirt today, actually. I'm
I
rocking
didn't
the
get
merch.
one, so
You didn't get one?
Nah.
Lost in the South
This is
African
what happens when you
post.
live at the bottom end of Africa.
It
You
is
just
pretty
don't get
far
nice
away,
things.
you know?
Well, it's only like 9,000 miles or something like that, so...
To be fair, I had to physically go and get it off them. They forgot to send mine about 4 times, but it's here now. It's pretty comfy, I'll give them that. Got a hoodie
I'm
with
glad
it
you're
too.
part of the team, Sneaky. Lucky
Thank
you.
you. I'm glad you're a part of the team, Hayes.
Well,
you don't
I
need
mean,
a
I don't
t-shirt
have
to dignify your importance. You mean a lot to me, Hayes. It's great to have you here.
Okay, well, I'll
You're
take
more
that.
than
That's
a
enough for
caster
me.
to me.
Oh, no, Soulfly. Oh my god, you hate
Oh,
that so
that's
much. The USP?
rough.
What's wrong? There's something about trying to shoot someone in the back of the head with the USP.
It just doesn't work. The USP is
that's something we
designed
need
not to
to...
hit back of
Source 2
headshots.
needs to fix that.
Please, Source 2, make back of heads better hitboxed. Oof, goodness me, Materis, that was saucy. Fousey,
Yeah.
quivering behind the door there, or behind the window.
Oh no, don't stop it, guys.
This is brutal. He's just got a USP, leave him alone.
Oh, nice kill from QB.
Hello
That
there.
actually might take the attention away from Fuzi no Muterus. He goes and checks so deep. Oh, Fuzi hates his life in that situation. That's so unfortunate. Saw 3-0. Great start to the map coming through for them.
This is where Sangal found their first round. One of 3 rounds in the previous map. And it was a very convincing gun round, don't get me wrong. Admittedly, a little bit of a bonus buy for Saw. But it was Roman to pull off a purchase coming into the 5th round of play that immediately won them another round and dragged them together about 10 in a row. Looking at this one, though, it's a pretty even standing. It's for 2 Galils I'm slightly worried about, but I've already seen what Just can do with his. He sits 8-0. 8-0 come round number 4, because why not?
And so much impact in those kills as well.
Yeah, the pistol, fantastic. A 3k in the follow-up, and Fuzi misses every single opportunity again.
Oh, Corey pops off the back of the flash, but just been able to avoid the flash. 9 and 0, not able to get to double digits, but that doesn't matter because that A bomb site's in full control of Saw. What a wonderful push. The coordination is just perfect. The utility usage couldn't have been better. That is so well oiled, Sneaky. That's just like a perfect dry run from Spawn.
Yeah.
Almost as if they didn't even have to play against opponents in that round. It was just so well worked.
You know, when you're on your practice maps and you position bots, so you can practice your flashbangs, you can practice your smokes. Yeah, that's all Sangal were. They were just bots for sort of ripped to shreds. And as harsh as that sounds, they really have not delivered anything at all in this series for us to compliment outside of their gun round on Ancient, which has not been replicated here on Inferno. And Skronk, come on, get a frag. As Ujux kills Soulfly, and Skronk is sent heading for the hills. He can still get one. But Roman rounds the corner, and Skronk's not even looking the right way. 0 save weapons, 0 save rounds, and Saw, excuse me, are looking pristine.
Okay, I just want to make a point that something we didn't pick up on is that Saw actually decided to start on the T side. Obviously, they had the choice of sides coming into this map, and I love that decision so much, Sneaky, because they absolutely dominated their opponents on that first map, 16-3. They want to come into the T side now of the next map, where they can just continue to dictate the pace of the game, play their game. I think it would have been a lot more difficult starting on the CT side. We'd have to defend the bomb sites, rotate, play cold, Counter-Strike. Here, they just can continue in their groove, and I think it's a really good call.
Yeah, they're keeping the momentum going, and I'm really enjoying the show. Still have a lot to offer. And Inferno being one of those more... In fact, Inferno is the most 50-50 map in the pool right now. The T-sides often having an advantage over their opposition. As, well, my voice might be cracking a bit, but thankfully Saw haven't so far. They've looked wonderful. And are looking to potentially execute towards B here. There's a bit of a stack up against the pistols. The Skronk is on the backside here. Can he get anything done in this one, Hazers? No. They've spurned a gamble rotation over towards B. Instead, they run back towards A. They're messing with the pistols. They're messing with my head.
Well, they've got options available here. They're messing with the defense. They might actually make their way in towards a B split. Unfortunately for Fuzi, he only has a USP. Look at that from Ujux. What a gorgeous shot. Corey with the dig. He's got QB in support. Bit of a crossfire to be set up here between the two of them. They've got armor as well. Watch these guys with the dig. Sneaky. They've done some wonderful work before. There we go. That's a great kill coming out of QB. Got the smoke to look to play around, but Roman will just be able to romp his way to the frag. And Saw, I mean... Think about the way they won the pistol. Ever since then, it's just been complete and utter domination.
Let's say every minute detail has been rehearsed, though. And look at the thought process behind that bomb plant. They realize, hey, we're all full HP. We don't need to hunt this. They are literally just on pistols. Let them scamper away. Don't give up anything for free. And so they go for the long plant, so all of them will survive a pit save. It's just the little things like that that make Saw's game plan so much more comprehensive. On their opponent's map pick as well. The Skronk, no kills. That one measly assist. And as much as I don't want to reintroduce the Skronk cam, we might have to for comedic relief later on.
Well, we're going to have to see. I'm going to try not put too much of a magnifying glass on it because I feel like if I do, I'm not going to stop. So the thing about Skronk is he's actually been... he's a pretty strong fragging IGL. He's just having a bad game. He's actually regarded as a fragging IGL in general, right?
I mean, that's why I was so excited to see him on Ancient. That's normally his best map.
You look at him in the past 3 months, he's got a 0.92 rating. I mean, for an IGL, it's pretty normal, you know, and he actually often will have a hand in making plays on the CT side. You're going to watch him towards Banana throughout this half, by the way. He's going to be the man who's looking to make plays, looking to get aggressive, looking to push through. That's his playstyle on the CT side, and when it works, he's actually he's a really valuable player to have on the CT side in particular.
No, I completely agree. On the CT side, he is normally a menace, but so far sits 0-4. Yes, we're 5 rounds in, but I'm also not massively filled with confidence of the previous discrepancies. Corey probably not filled with confidence either, as he's fully blinded towards the top of shelter there. Has he
Yeah.
silenced his M4?
He has. Look
What
at the
absolute
protocols here from
menace.
Saw, though. Just after their molly gets extinguished, the protocol is not to swing. They're going to throw a second wave of utility now. Really like this from Saw. Here we go. Second wave starts to come through. Another molly gets extinguished. What's the protocol this time? They commit. Kill comes through. A second as well. 2 for the price of 1. Only the AWP left remaining. Fuzi looking to step out. Huge kill out of him. In the meantime, Saw haven't been able to get on that A bomb site, so Sangal still stand a chance in the round.
Yeah, it's immaculate trade spacing up until Roman dies towards long net. They got a little bit overconfident, leaving him on his own. So effectively forced into an Apps waterfall here, but Fuzi catches the first overextension, rounds the corner. Story rounds him with a round from his Orpus, just bagged another! Oh god, there's no way this happens again! There was an advantage for Sangal this time, as Saw. We're looking for a 6-0 start. Just has not died yet, as he's on 10 kills, a 2 KPR, Bronx in a 1v2, goes down to Story, and it's a never-ending story here, Hayes. 6-0, Saw are on fire!
Yeah, when you couple what happened on Ancient into the thought process as well, it looks really bleak here for Sangal. It's not like this is just a map in isolation that's going poorly for them. They lost 16-3 on Ancient. They're down 6-0 now. Going into an eco round as well. Things couldn't be looking more bleak for Sangal here in this playoff matchup. Saw making a statement that they mean business here in the CCT North Europe Series 4. When you look at the level of teams that have been invited into the competition as well, it's going to be a tough bracket and a top run. Obviously, Fnatic, the most difficult of the teams in this playoff bracket. 9 going to be probably their stiffest competition for Fnatic, that is.
Who's your favourite to win this?
It's got to be Fnatic. It has to be Fnatic. I mean, they're 9th in the world right now. If Fnatic don't win it, if Fnatic don't win this, that would be a huge blight on their track record right now. And they're in some rough form. So this event could actually serve as a good purpose for them, for just to rebuild some confidence, pick up some more wins, you know, get an online event win under the belt as well. Not going to be easy, though. 9, Saw, Gamer Legion, Monty, all top of the tier 2. Going to make it very difficult for Fnatic.
Yeah, well, in the meantime, we have been informed that there's a headset issue on the Sangal side. I think that might be an understatement, because they
I was going to say, I don't think that's the problem here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they can't see the enemies either, as you said in our previous map. Monitor's probably off at this stage. Saw 1.02 to the, what was that, 13.5 for Sangal right now. But I expect are not heavily favouring the likes of Sangal, as is understandable. But if you are crazy enough to think those odds are still reasonable enough to bet on, then head on over to our partners at 1xBet. Use code CCT for up to €130 of deposit bonus, as just as he clear his corners. No.
Dead. Has to be. First time? Yes, finally.
Messi. It is somehow still a 4v4, Hayes. I don't quite understand it. Scrunk. Will he get his frag? Come on, Scrunk. You round that corner. Or don't, because Story will kill you regardless. 4v3. And also, remember, ladies and gentlemen, please do gamble responsibly. Don't bet more than you can afford to lose. Don't go chasing your losses, as it's simply not worth it. And do not gamble if you're under the age of 18, as it is very much illegal. And that rule is put in place for a reason.
Unfortunately for Sangal, looks like Saw have made another good read here in the Santi Eco. As they start to shift themselves in towards that B bomb site. Will the C4 follow suit is the question. Lion's share of the defense on A right now, and it does look like Roman's going to play for a little bit of info before they commit. I think one of the main reasons that Saw have just been so dominant is it's all 5 of their players have actually been at near their highest level, actually, I would say. So you're just getting the best out of Saw right now, and Sangal are struggling. And when you combine those two factors together, it paints a very bleak picture for Sangal.
You know what? I will say it. This is the worst out of Sangal. This is the worst I have ever seen them play. On an individual level, on a team level, their Ancient was underwhelming, despite it being a map that they have played 15 times in the past 3 months. There's a reason, I suppose, they've only got that 33% win rate. They're Inferno right now. They're being overrun on a pick that is usually their comfort pick. There's a reason
Yeah,
they picked
exactly.
this map. Like Saw are dominating them right now, and I do not know what the solution is. Just finally has his first death on the board coming into round number 7. They're just not killing the top-ranking individuals. Materis, a single death. Roman and Story, a similar story. As Ujux, normally the star player for this team, normally the man doing all the entering, just simply has not been needed.
I will say, sort of the one maybe silver lining / saving grace, if I could call it that, which is an exaggeration for sure, is that Sangal do prefer the T side, and Saw also heavily prefer the T side. So if Sangal can eke out 6.5 here, which is obviously going to be a stretch considering the way the first 7 rounds have gone, but if they can, you know, muster up 6, bare minimum 5, then maybe, just maybe, there's a chance for them to gain some traction and make something happen on the T side of this map. I wouldn't write it off completely.
I mean, it's ambitious, given what we've seen from them so far. Excuse me. Skrunk still having a pretty miserable day. Soulfly has decided to join him. The One Kill Club, it seems. Popular place to be. Corey's down there as well. Saw on the flip side, a 10 KD, a 7 KD, and 2.5 KDs. And I don't really want to do the maths on Uja, because I'll probably make a fool of myself, but I think it's a 1.25. Regardless, it's going very, very well for the likes of Saw, and very, very badly for Sangal. They're not adapting, they're being completely pulled around. Fuzi might get a frag here, but he misses his lines. Can't even run back through that smoke. Actually, he can,
well,
I'd like to, but yeah, his teammates fend off short.
Yeah, and thankfully Muterus doesn't actually keep forcing the issue and pushing through CT. Sangal don't know that though. That's why Soulfly has to watch towards CT, so at least that sort of concern in the bare minimum forces Soulfly to watch his back. Fresh smoke deployed towards the top of Banana, and actually it looks like that's going to force Saw back in the opposite direction. Ujux is in the top middle. Fuzi's heading that direction with the orb. Should clear the rifle, and he does. This is very awkward for Saw. I wouldn't be surprised if they went back to B from here, because Story's there with the orb. It's a collateral from Fuzi. Corey gets a kill as well. Sangal, get on the board.
A full blinded collateral as Fuzi seals the deal. 4 kills to his name in that round. That is what we need to see of a player you pitched as one of the stars for Sangal here. You know, leads the scoreboard 7-6 off the back of that impeccable couple of plays. He sees the full might of Saul running up mid towards him, and he doesn't even see that collateral. Great replay there from the operator. Shout out to production for that one. But shout out to Fuzi for keeping Sangal somewhat alive in this map.
I think Saw that's the first time we've seen them make a panic decision. We haven't seen them make a panic decision yet here in the series. I think even executing through the smoke there would have been a better option. They had so many flashes and so much utility. Even going back to B would have been a better option after Ujux fell to Fuzi in middle. Anyway, 7-1. Money still great for the T side, so Sangal have a mountain to climb if they're going to fight back. Fuzi on the correct side of the map doesn't hit. His shot flash is really good. Just blinded, but spots out his opponent before he's blinded, so he'll be able to get the kill. Skrunk also blinded up, but finds his first. May double down, doesn't, but kill, or at least damage found. Man advantage in play for the T side, perhaps for not much longer, though.
Yeah, Sora looking pretty good here, but Materis, can he plant the bomb, or will Fuzi pick him off instead? That is an egregious swing. How he gets away with the frag there is beyond me. Corey, lovely headshot onto Story. 2 versus 3. Nice bit of rhyming, as there is no reason behind this either. An unnecessary extension there from Roman. Banks us a 2v2, just clinging on by a breath of life. Already 3 kills to his name in this round. Will he have to do more as Materis? He's edged his way round towards for CT smoke. He found a bit of an elevated angle. Does good damage. Can't find the kill. And Materis, he's dispositioned by Corey in the nick of time, as Sangal will find their second.
Wonderful retake coming through from their QB and Corey. They keep their calm. They keep their cool. Saw looked uncomfortable in their post-plant positions there. Once Just gets that frag, you think, cool, that should be the job done, the round 1. But they actually end up taking a couple unnecessary fights in the post-plant. Sangal happily oblige. And they're able to string 2 consecutive rounds together. That's the first time in the series Sangal have won 2 rounds in a row. So, tactical timeout called by Saw. Looking to just discuss the situation and figure out if they change anything up. They're going to have, like I said, more than enough money to buy here in this round and the round after this as well. Round loss bonus going to start to subsidize their economy. So as long as they continue to get bomb plants, that they probably actually won't have to eco here in the half, which is so rough for Sangal. After you fall behind 7-0, then you have to just consistency play against gun rounds as well. That is not an easy way to make the comeback happen. In fact, the most difficult way you could possibly have to make the comeback. But they are showing a little bit of fight and a little bit of resolve. Individuals were able to stand up to the task in the previous round there with the retake. Maybe that's going to be just installing a little bit of confidence in the Sangal squad.
Now, it appears Saw looked to take beat early again, but my goodness, that util. Just one of the heroes for this side right now. Taken down to just 14 HP is Materis. He's removed entirely. 5v4 as Sangal. It appears they're slowly starting to find their groove phase as Ujerks makes a silly mistake, peeking widely with a bomb. No real support or trade opportunity. Fuzi going nutty here on the defense. 3 to his name, and Story only a single trade. Things are starting to look significantly better for the defensive side.
Yeah, way too individual coming through there from Saw. Dory looking to try and make his way through the smoke, but the counter flash is really good. More damage continues to be done. Both himself and Just are very low. And if you're the two remaining players on the T side at this point, you just save. Your team's going to buy up in the next round. You're actually carrying a lot of value in your armor and weapons. Looks like Story was a bit late on the memo. That's 3 in a row coming through for Sangal, and yeah, that was incredibly one-dimensional from Saw, who have actually had way more depth to their T side so far compared to what we saw in that round.
Yeah, we were starting to see a couple of mistakes here from Saw. As you said, rather individualistic plays. Ujerks an unnecessary swing, perhaps feeling overconfident still from the results in the final or in the previous map. Boozy started to pick up the pace though. 10-7. He hits double digits, the first person on his team to do so. Skronk now out-fragging Soulflight. Possibly not the best sign, but at least he's getting a bit of personal confidence back with that, no doubt. As Fuzi really is starting to lead this charge. He's the hero they need, and a talented AWPer indeed with that third shot as well. But nobody can disposition him. It's a bit of a problem sign for Saw, as they will be reinvesting again. And Just, I'm assuming, has a gun on the floor. There we go. We'll be joining in this full buy, but it's the last one they'll be afforded for a little while if this goes awry.
Just want to commend the replays there once again. Loving the replays that we got coming through here on the broadcast today. Catching frags that we don't actually see live on the broadcast as well, which is always great.
Yeah, they've been pretty spicy today with it. I love that replay with the record scratch on Fuzi's collateral as Fuzi peeks on into middle again. It's an AWP hold down. The Story's dispositioned by that Molotov. And Saw, well, they find their way back into middle, at least temporarily.
All by design. Good utility usage coming through from the CT side so far. They have gone for a bit of a gamble stack with 4 players over towards that A bomb site, though. Doesn't look like they're going to maintain that for too long, considering they have got mid control. HE grenade going to be a bit late, won't do as much damage as it could have. Core going to get flashed forward, blinds up so many players, only going to be able to get the single kill though. You don't mind that too much if you saw that follow-up HE grenade though. There's more that comes through in terms of utility. Actually have to use a smoke to extinguish the flames. I think they need to get a move on here, but they're going to be pushing into the jaws of death.
My goodness, Ujerks is a lovely frag into the 3v3. We go as Kyubi. What has just happened? Completely blinded, turns away, and Ujerks gets a freebie. Did he think he was in cover there? He was just standing completely out in the open, frozen.
He just goes full ostrich, sneaky. Buries his head in the sand. If I can't see them, they can't see me. Roman doesn't even need to double PK with Ujerks. He just steps up by himself, strung through the smoke. Gonna have to just count himself out of the round here. Don't think Just is gonna allow him that though. They've got him tucked in right now. He's got a kit, but I don't think this is about going for the ninja defuse.
No, he wants an exit here. Just deal as much economic damage as possible. But at the same time, if he loses this AK, that is pretty costly. A nice investment.
Great
to
round
keep
from
on
Saw
over
though,
as,
man.
Yeah, Saw Super solid stuff to get themselves back to winning ways. And they have just won out the half on their T side, which I think is a necessity for them on their opponent's map pick.
Look at these entry kills coming through. Ujoke's doing so much work. I mean, he's been relatively quiet on Inferno compared to what we saw out of him on Ancient. Also, just because his teammates have been doing most of the heavy lifting, but big round coming through there from him with those opening frags. I thought the crossfire setup would be impenetrable. Not the case. At least Sangal are able to afford another investment here, Sneaky, but if they lose this next round, then they're going to be in the pits.
Yeah, it'll be a tough one, as that's a great flashbang onto Fuzi, but Soulfly an even better entry down middle. Fuzi allowed to supply an Overwatch kill means it's a 4 versus 3. I can do basic maths, don't worry, it even tells me in the top right-hand corner. But yes, 4 versus 3 for the likes of Sangal as sort fluffed their lines early doors a bit again there. Overexposed in middle, they don't anticipate that level of aggression. That's what I'm liking from Sangal. They're switching things up, but Roman, oh, that's gorgeous, that's deadly! A double opener towards the A bomb site as he can get the bomb down for free. It's up to Story now to make his way up to support. That's
so
a great frag
patient.
onto Fuzi. And you're right,
Roman's
patience
dead.
is a virtue. No, Scrunk, is he an injury?
But he's taken too long to get on the bomb. I think that there might be a chance for Story. No, it's not going to come through in time. The fuse is completed. Scrunk tucked into the corner, just wants to stay alive. Story steps out to get the frag, hits the shot. They've exchanged damage. Scrunk actually gets the kill. That's a disaster. Roman barely had any health. He falls to the HE grenade.
Apologies, I was so fixated on the battle in middle, I didn't anticipate the Scrunk to do a play like that. His fragging might not be the best, but his game sense in that one is beautiful. Just about enough time that the AWPer can't reach the box, only lands a tag, not the full kill, and that was already after the bomb had been defused. Sangal, they're back to winning ways, as they have at least found 4 rounds, beating out their previous tally, rather unfortunately, by 1, as Fuzi won't be able to get a mid-entry this time. Ujoke's instead looks to cause mischief with a Mac 10.
Bolt bursts in towards the A bomb site. Corey not blinded up at all by the flashbang, able to just reign supreme himself. Fuzi, QB, all getting the damage and the frags between them, and this round has been stopped cold in its tracks. In fact,
Wow.
QB gets a quad kill, and Sangal reduced the deficit to just 3. And look at what they've done to Soul's economy. Soul have no idea what this is right now. Sneaky, they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't have money.
Yeah, that was a flawless round for Sangal. Not a speck of damage dealt, really. Flashbang misses, Kyubi doesn't, and that's the story of round 13. Ultimate round of the half here saw in unfamiliar territory. They only let 2 rounds slip, if I'm not mistaken, in their first half of the previous map. Kyubi won a 1v4 clutch in the Glock round, in the pistol round of that second half. And then again, immediately saw slap them out of the server, but been a very different story here. Sangal are still very much on for 7 rounds, making this a very competitive Inferno. An 8-7 scoreline to his T-side, certainly not uncommon in this day and age. Saw look to pull off a miracle and be the first to 9 off the back of just pistols and Util. They pick up the pace, they don't often go B, and Soulfly, oh, he just holds that flick. Down goes Ujo. Scrunk finds another 2 to the tally. Great Molotov, great frags in the IGL. Allowed a lovely confidence booster here and an equalised frag tally.
Yeah, great work coming through there on the defense against the pistol. So, Sneaky, I just want to throw this one at you. The last time these two teams played against each other was in the CCT South Europe Series 2 on the 26th, 25th of January. Okay, so maybe a month and a half ago type of thing. What maps did they play? They played Ancient and Inferno. What were the scores, you ask, Sneaky? Well, that's a great question, mate. It was 16-3 on Ancient for Saw when they played against each other. The exact same scoreline. The exact same scoreline here in the first map. It was 16-13 on Inferno the last time they played against each other, after a 10-5 halftime scoreline with Saw starting on their T side. So, this time they can't get 10.
No, they can't.
Will history repeat itself?
Well, Saw are certainly going to try and ensure that opportunity as Roman gets nothing on the A apartments play. Ujoke's though. Oh, he might have just got a timing. Here's Fuzi jumping out of the balcony, though. Well, that things do get a bit more complicated. Molotov attempts to force him into the open, but Kyubi The perfect cover catches the head of Ujex, and he'll get nothing at least in this round. Skrunk, another onto Just. These are mismatched heroes in a 2v4. Materis tries for something cheeky. The IGL's not had a kill in a very long time. And won't be afforded one here either. Soulflight slides on in, leaving Story in a 1v3. 1v4, in fact.
Oh,
Position
bye-bye.
IGL. No way
No.
do they pass each other. Surely they realise they've walked into each other. Skrunk does. He
Grunk's
just
wondering how have I...
Wait,
oh,
no!
my word. Story looks back, gets the kill.
What?
Doesn't have a smoke, though.
He does now.
Oh, he's picked one up. Oh, my God. Not going to get spotted on the cross. Flames get extinguished. HE grenade avoided.
What is going on?
Uses the fountain as cover, fakes the plant, avoids the flash. No push through the smoke just yet. One player coming up, Banana, round over. He needed to plant off the bat. The job's done now. And there we go. Soulfly finishes it off. 8-7. Sangal, they saved the half. They were down 7-0 at one point, and they lose the half 8-7.
That is very impressive from Sangal, and it's actually Kyubi topping the server here. After Just went 10-0, he finishes 13-7. That's 3 kills for 7 deaths. Story, a valiant effort in that one. Simply won't be coming over. Yeah, I do actually remember casting the previous meeting of these two teams now. It was ridiculous. The 16-3 at Ancient, I thought to myself, this could never possibly happen again. But here I am reliving it. But Inferno, a very different kettle of fish. Because why would you put fish in a kettle, you might be asking me? Not a clue, Hayes.
Well, how else are you supposed to boil your fish, Sneaky?
Normally, in a pan. Or a saucepan, a pot. Many other utensils, but not a kettle.
All right, well, don't judge, all right?
I don't know where this is going. We do love ourselves a tangent, Hayes, I'll be honest. But Sangal, they've been on a tangent at rounds threaded together. They're looking to pull this over into a favourable position and equalise off the pistol.
He is dancing with death right now. Will he have the kiss on his lips is the question.
Oh, goodness me.
Love is running his direction.
Very formal.
That's Fuzi's name, by the way.
Oh, is it Luva Smedebrand or something?
Well, it's spelt love, so there we go. Don't have to get so technical, Sneaky.
I'm very sorry. I'll let it sit.
Sangal, they're not sitting. They are running in towards the safe bomb site right now.
Roman. Oh my goodness, makes a mess of it. What has just happened there? Random ragdolls, Kyubi and Skrunk, they're still alive and kicking. Story, you might want to watch where you're being pressured from rather than looking at the column. Regardless, the column offers no solace. 2 versus 2. Skrunk, his position revealed as Ujex leaves that to his teammate. Might be a bit of a mistake. Just finally finds the prey. But the Kyubi, the Glock hero from the previous map, will not be able to do it again in a clutch scenario. Only a single to Batali there. As Saw put 9 up on the board first, and Sangal missed a golden opportunity at equalising. They definitely had all the pieces of the puzzle there, but they do, most importantly, get the bomb down.
Man, I mean, that was just back and forth throughout. Great kills coming through from Saw initially on the defense. Didn't look like they'd be able to get those frags as quickly as they do, but then Sangal do have some sort of a response. 2 versus 2 is the result. They have to push through the smoke. It's actually super uncomfortable on the retake there for Saw, but they're able to make it work. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat throughout that retake there.
Yeah, it was
Big
it
one
was
for
wild.
Saul.
I can't believe that they were so confident in each other on the retake on the CT side that they just let each other fight one-on-one targets. Skrunk was so preoccupied, but I think it was just that Ujex's focus is in on towards the pit. And it somehow comes out on top. It was a lot of trust on that bomb site.
I don't even know if I trust you that much.
I wouldn't. I'm very bad at pistol rounds. I buy a P250 every pistol round, just so I can look at my really sexy P250 Hive. I managed to snipe it for about, I think, £39, £49 as a VP Kenobi to 2014 Holo on the handle.
Okay.
It looks super clean.
Well, you should play the game so you can use it, Sneaky.
I mean, this would be a great suggestion. You down for a match after this?
No.
Fair enough.
I mean, you know, casting 6 hours of Counter-Strike to jumping into an MM game, probably not my first choice, but we'll see.
You don't want to be my wingman.
Ah, man, you're guilt tripping me into this one here, Sneaky.
It's a terrible tragedy, Hayes, honestly. It'd be a terrible tragedy for Sangal if they lose this force spike.
Yes, it will, because then it's 11-7 before they get to buy up again. Pistol round comes painstakingly close. They've got a lot of utility here. I really appreciate that they valued so much util on their Force 5 Inferno. Key side, that is. They start to let some of it loose.
Util rains on down. Flashes. Barrage into brackets. The little jiggle from Sangal, but they don't commit off the back of it. 4 CTs lie in wait towards this A bomb site as the play now comes through.
U-Jerk's out in the open.
Good, but Soulfly's better. Story, it's a dangerous position, but still catches two. Still a disadvantage, though, as Roman has a lot to make up for. Bomb edges its way forward. 21 seconds remaining. Hasn't been spotted yet. Just was initially hesitant, but Roman is not.
No.
Only finds one to the tally, though. Corey, the huge clutch opportunity here as a smoke rains down towards the long side. Will he tap in those digits? Yes, he will. Just pushes the smoke, rounds the corner. Corey goes for the clear, and that's massive there from Corey. A huge clutch to be winning on out as Sangal find their A.
Such good awareness coming through there from Corey, mate. Such good awareness to clear that somebody might have phased through the smoke while he was planting. Swings up wide with the AK. I don't think Roman should have re-peeked you. I'm going to keep it real with you. I think he needed to stay alive, and his presence alone then would have kept them focused on apartments, and maybe his teammate can then flank them out. Oh my god, okay. Huge round for Sangal to win. Saw Force back in response, but we could see the scoreline leveled up here for the first time in the series.
Yeah, it's been a while since that was even thought of as a possibility between these two teams.
Yeah.
Again, it was a ridiculous run on Ancient, a 16-3 scoreline, sorry. We still would love a 13-3 scoreline right now, but just let too much slip on past them now. A force buy from CTs looks to deal a killing blow to Sangal and their economy. They're in a good position to do so right now. A 4-man bracket stack, and you've not just smoked Saw out of this play, you've smoked them into it. They're now fully committed. Nade rains on down. U-Jerk's bit of a premature swing, perhaps.
Yeah.
As they might not even commit to A anymore. Bomb is hesitant here.
Maybe U-Jerk's felt a little bit forced forward by the utility. There's still another smoke in play for Just as well. And he's going to deploy it. So that might force Sangal's hand. Won't be any resistance in towards middle. It's going to be coming in the form of defense on the A bomb site. And Sangal are leaving themselves quite a lot of work to do. And there won't be a huge amount of time on the clock. This can slip up against the forced up pistols.
3 on the bomb
It's going to
site.
have to go perfectly, Sneaky.
You don't expect this many pistols to be here. They've got crossfires, they've got information, they've got Scrunk, and they've got Soulfly. Fuzi, Corey, they all go down. My god, it's a mess as Kyubi. He fights for his life, fights for the round, but it's not going to happen. That is perfectly played in tandem across the board by the side of Saw. They upgrade their weapons, and they win the force fight. That is how you stack an A-bomb site.
And I love their decision to depart middle. Remember, they had that big stack on going in towards mid. They decide to actually fall back on towards A because the round is so late. So they think, okay, there's a better chance if we play against the clock as well. And they run it as late as they possibly can. Sangal lose the first 2 players who are clearing out that A bomb site. So the third and fourth players pushing through, their lives become so much more difficult. It's a force back in response from Sangal. But it'll be a nail in the coffin if Saw can win this. Or will the Force Wars continue to take effect?
I do love a good force spy war. Was it you I was casting with, where I had 8 force spies in a row on this map? That was incredible.
That was in South America.
It was wacky. And we could be heading down a similar avenue here. So, give up banana control for free here. Lots of the Eagles ready and waiting for them. As it's just an Ujux to receive. Story on the hero AK. Has done wonders with it, but still a little lacking overall in performance. But Sangal, well, they'll be lapping up any pistol frags they can find here as all of their util is expended, bar one smoke and flash towards B. Great Molotov to delay, though. This is where things get scary for Sangal.
Yeah, it does. It does get scary. Well, I think it's scary for Saw, actually. Sangal able to start to close the gap. They still have another smoke in play. All 5 of their players towards the top of Banana. Saw don't really know what's going on until Ujoke spots out 3 players, gets the kill on 1, but actually completely overextends there as he continues to give up the fights. That's what the Deagles want. Just into the corner towards Quad, steps out, first frag found on it. Boozy. Roman comes through the smoke. Great initiative taken there from his teammates. Although he goes down, Just will capitalize. The triple coming through from him, and the scoreline's 11-8.
Despite it dropping off a little bit towards the end of that first half, Justice had a fantastic game and a fantastic series overall. I mean, I love the way he positioned himself and went back quad there. He buys time for his teammates to help him and then picks off 3 frags in a great pathing. And with that, it's 11-8 for Saw, a 3-round extension. There's no money in the bank for Sangal, and this should be a 12th, a 4-round lead, a very firm chance for Saw to get a grip and 1 step closer to the finish line. Oh, big damage onto Soulfly. He's just on a Glock as well. Makes it all the more upsetting. You just know there's nothing you can do in a round. And now you've been full blinded. You've been naded down to 27. And Saw should sit comfortably knowing this should be theirs. I mean, it's been a couple of wacky weeks for Counter-Strike for me. I've seen 3 full unupgraded pistol round wins. 1 on the side of Copenhagen Flames, 1 for B&E, and 1 for whoever B&E were playing. It was pretty ridiculous, Hayes, but I feel like we're past that now. And without even a single flashbang, these Glocks look a little deflated walking into brackets.
Yeah, this should be a formality. Story, along with Muterus. They find themselves at the firing range. They've got some live targets, but those targets shoot back. There's only 1 player on the A-bomb side right now. Roman by himself needs to be careful.
Oh my goodness.
Easy frags should be easy frags. USP out, 1 more bullet will do the job. Scrunk just jiggling, dancing, flirting, and eventually fragging. Wait, does he get the kill at range onto Ujokes as well? No, he doesn't. But 3 kills for Sangal in a round in which they invest next to nothing at all there. Was there a little bit of use, if anything? But that's great.
Full Glock round, 3 kills.
Full Glock, yeah, you'll take that every day of the week.
That's ridiculously messy from Saw. Oh my goodness me, they just allowed themselves to become overrun. Whatever happened in that crossfire? Ujokes. If he doesn't find that kill, I reckon Sangal win the round. I was talking about how I've seen some crazy things in Counter-Strike the past 2 weeks. And we very almost got another full Glock lack thereof investment round win. It's a little frustrating for Sangal that they couldn't take that 1 step further, but they can be very contented with the damage they've dealt Saw. They do lead by 4, but they bought themselves an avenue straight back into it. If they win this gun round, Saw collapse economically, and that should be 2 in a row. Double digits for the for them as well. Portuguese
and that's all
tread dangerously.
Yeah, that's all because of the damage done in the previous round, right? So
yes,
huge opportunity that presents itself, but you only get to capitalize on those opportunities when you win rounds, Sneaky. So Sangal, they have to win this gun round here, not only to break Saw economically, but actually just to keep themselves in contention here on Inferno. How does Sangal go about business? That's the big question. Backs against the wall, they're feeling the pressure. They don't have much momentum right now either.
They've got a good nade though, just down to 61. As it soars through Banana, Story has come to support here. It's a 3-man B play early doors, and this might be a good read as Sangal slowly but surely take territory in the direction of which Story beckons them into his crosshairs. There'll be a full execute towards B here. They've got plenty of time to play with. Flash comes through, it's a lovely 3K spray down with the same magazine. Peeks the corner, Boozy's still there, he's vulnerable. Boozy catches Story, but a smoke rains on out. And that is a massive round for Saw. 4 versus 2. And there is very little chance of them slipping this one up here. That should be a 13th round.
Sneaky, mate, I'm afraid you can't have 3 players top banana without one of them playing flash, anti-flash. You need one of them to be playing anti-flash. That's egregious. That's a very basic mistake coming through there from Sangal. Such an elementary play, right? The flash over the top from Coffins. As if we all haven't seen that 1,000 times when we watch Inferno. So Sangal get caught off far too easily. Fuzi looking to try and catch them off guard as he walks his way in towards the B bomb site. 14 seconds left. He doesn't know that Just is in towards the shadows. Gonna hope he can get the plant, but Just will emerge and locks in the 13th for Saw. Bomb plant denied as well. Means no money for Sangal coming into the 22nd.
I'd give that a rough out of 10 for Sangal, personally. That was their chance to get back into the game. It was a gun round. Fully invested and just does not give a damn. 3k spray down, 1 through the wood as insult to injury. And just with that final frag, makes it super clean, super easy. Just 3 rounds away from 2-0 here are the Portuguese as Sangal have a very tall order on their hands and just Tech 9s to try and claw something back with, supplemented by a deagle or 2. Oh, but an 8 damage early. Soulfly gets ahead of most of it, actually. He's still going, but does stop towards the top of Banana. Good Banana control taken, but again, with just the pistols, it's likely not going to be enough.
I mean, I still back them to do some sort of damage. I think they stand a chance in the round. We're going to see them throw the variation smokes here so they can start to close the gap in towards Coffins. The response is an incendiary from CT. Muterus is the extra player leaning over towards that B bomb site. U-Jerk still has a molly and a smoke as well. Going to deploy the molly. That forces Fuzi forward. Stolfly, actually, excuse me, was the one forced out into the open. Like a lamb to the slaughter. And now they have to go back towards A, but the problem is that they've used nearly all of their utility and they have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. There's a flash and a smoke. I reckon smoke towards long, flash comes out through brackets, and they go for something fast and wacky. That's exactly what happens. Library is cut on off. They could maybe go for a charge to B, but Muteris is here. Makes a bit of a mess out of it, if I'm honest, but does eventually cut down two. U-Jerk is there to stabilize. And Muteris finds the last with just the USP. That's 14-8. And Saw are looking significantly cleaner as their second half comes into full swing.
Yeah, well, they need to win, what, 2 of the next 10 rounds? Or how many rounds? No, there wouldn't be 10 left. There's 8 rounds left in the half, excuse me. Including the one we're about to get into. They need to win 2 of them.
And they've got the economy for it, that's for sure. Full util.
Yeah, good point.
All kits except... Actually, no. 3 kits is more than enough. Plenty of Kevlar. They're living it large right now, Hayes. They want their spot in the quarterfinals. They've made it before. But this time they want to go the distance. I reckon our 3 top competitors are... Actually, I'll go off. Our top 4 competitors are Fnatic, 9, Gamer Legion, and Saw here. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's a reflection of the ranking as well. So, no hot take there from you, Sneaky.
A lukewarm take from me is Soulfly. That's a hot take. Takes ahead to the tally and story falls.
That's the round over, actually. I think if you're Saw, you just commit to the save off the Batcher. I mean, just way too much responsibility put onto Saw's shoulders there. It's not like he had deep control either. Oh, Justice going to go down unnecessarily, finds himself floating over towards the B side. Look, his teammates haven't even moved. So that's extra damage. Okay, Sangal, that's a lifeline. That's pretty much a free round for them.
Well, that was super clean. Sangal need to do nothing. They lose a single point of HP in those endeavors. So, well, they come off a little worse for wear on this one. U-Jerks and Roman had the crossfire. Scrum will go down to U-Jerks there, but he's had a much better performance, as has Corey as he steps into the limelight. 2 kills in this one. Roman. Oh, he's made a dropping noise. QB pre-fires it, gets caught mid-jump, makes a mess of it, and Muteris will be lucky to survive this. Messy spray, but down goes Soulfly. Can he survive Corey's onslaught? It does look likely, but that is a very rough round there for Saw, especially as they lose so many in the exits.
I just want to talk about the playoff bracket here, by the way. The top side of the bracket is so ridiculously stacked. 9 have got almost a free run to the final. The top side of the bracket, the top half of the bracket has Fnatic, Monty, Saw, and Gamer Legion in the 4 opening matches. So Whoever wins here has to play against Gamer Legion. The winner of that match will probably play against Fnatic. So to try get to the finals, it's going to be a very difficult run for whoever makes it work from this side of the bracket.
Yeah, that is very, very rough. I don't quite know how the seeding came out for that one, but it's like the playoffs invite and the top teams have just been split directly down the middle. They've funneled all the weaker ones into that lower bracket. You're right. 9 should not be losing that run. I think their biggest competition should be Copenhagen Flames if they're in form.
Exactly.
They've
Yeah.
just had a roster change.
I'd
500
say
and
Voivoda,
Voivoda
maybe.
are both unpredictable, but yeah. What do you mean? Honorist are going to win this tournament? Of course, Hayes.
That would be classic. That would be so classic of them. They are that type of a team, you know.
I
No
would
one
love
expects
for
them to do
Honorist to
anything.
win something. I think the only tournament win they've had as a squad was a forfeit loss because AGO or Pact were caught cheating by looking at a stream in ESL Poland.
Well, I mean, it's not about how you get the job done. It's about getting the job done, I suppose. I don't know. Corey will find the opening kill, just blinded. Falls. It's a variation from Saw looking to get aggressive here towards Banana. Hasn't paid off just yet, and there are still so many players here for Sangal. How does Ujix get more than one frag from this position?
Well, he probably won't have to. The Molotov does all the work for him. Really nice util. And that's a good swing.
Get out of there now,
Self-flight
though.
caught mid-jump. Ooh, he gets away in the nick of time too. That's good discipline, but hold on. Why are you rotating, Materis? What information have you gotten that A more of a threat? Oh, apparently he might be right, and I might look a bit silly, but is the bomb fully committing to the rotation? No, they go back to B. They got stacks of util. It's still quite an advantage to the likes of Sangal here.
Gonna be a big exit coming through here. Both these players in towards CT. Ujokes does peek ahead of the smoke, able to find a frag at least. And I think they might go for a later boost here. That might catch them another kill for free. Yes, Ujokes boosted up. AK finds the frag. QB has the bomb out, so he's a free kill as well. It's only boost left 1v4. Barely any time left on the clock. They know where he is. Damage done. He will go down 15-9. 6 map and series points here for Saw as they march on in direction of the 2-0.
Saw are storming towards this finish line here, more than keeping us ahead of schedule. They're looking to even finish this second match early. Very kind of them on the Saw side. They didn't have to. I was expecting a little bit more competition from Sangal. I will admit, I think Saw probably were too. Ancient was flattening. There was no response at all from Sangal. This map has at least been competitive. Saw charge on through. Roman charges down middle. They change up the base. The flash is good. The spray is nice. Only a single frag though. Saw can't afford to get greedy here. They do still have to close this map out.
Saw are relying so heavily on Mutarus's position right now because he's got the deep angle on middle. QB's not going to see him, and he might even walk into his guys. Is the gun barrel exposed? Not on that angle.
Ooh.
QB ducks away. Does look like Mutarus, or excuse me, Story's head back in towards A. So much damage.
No flying Corey. Eat that frag for breakfast. I promise you now, the taste of shrapnel is not the tastiest nor most nutritious start to your day.
Oh, QB walking into Mutarus. He gets a huge kill. Massive frag.
That's a bomb
Does that change up the approach? It is. And QB's going to be taking that control as well. It's all on Story. He's the only way Saw can win this round.
Flashes through. Jumps through his own smoke, but decides against it. Here's the footsteps now, surely. And this will be a save call. This will be a 10th on the board to Sangal unless Story can do something ridiculous through the smoke. And it's simply not going to happen.
Oh, wow.
Great frag
all off a single kill. Yeah, one frag unlocks the whole round here for Sangal. Great awareness from QB to clear that angle.
Oh, really nice.
Okay, well, they live to fight for another day. I mean, we were talking about how there was no resistance at all from Sangal. They never pitched up on Ancients. Really, the only time we've actually seen them pitch up was in the latter stages of that first half on their T side, where they won like 7 out of the 8 rounds or something. That's really the only time we've seen them look formidable here in this playoff, or look like themselves even in this matchup.
Well, I said they've not looked like, quote-unquote, themselves since October of last year. That's the last time they made any impact in a playoffs run. It was 3rd to 4th in a Blast qualifier, I believe. Before that, they were winning things. They had a solid phase in EDC, I think. Way back when, but it's a little sad to see them going from winning Gamers X EU champs. You know, they won Steel Series Nova Cup. They were doing well in ESEA Advanced. They came second there. And now we just see them middling out in every tournament that they play. They've sunk back into the depths of a Tier 2 scene that's very hard to claw your way out of. Struggling in every tournament that they're put into and very rarely making top 8.
Story with the orb looking to try and have impact here, obviously saved from the previous ones to bring it into the fray. Yeah, Flash is great. U-Jerks trades, but it's taking damage in the process, still maintains his forward position, but has a smoke to keep his opponents at bay. Bit of a stalemate here from the get-go, but Sangal won't mind the 1-for-1 trade.
I mean, as that timer ticks on down, though, pressure continues to mount on Sangal. I think Skrunk went to get extra util from spawn there. Only delays things further, but the clock is not yet their enemy. Instead, their enemy's right round the corner at Sandbags and U-Jerks. Are they going to clear him? Will they be afforded the opportunity? And Justice now coming to help on out. 23 in 10 as U-Jerks head on a swivel. Silver Soul fly out of this one. And now time starts to become more prevalent as their manpower starts to decrease.
And the problem is with this boost, you're normally good for at least a single kill, right? There's not going to be any smoke, though, which does leave just incredibly exposed. Skrunk steps out, gets the kill, no frag found. U-Jerks the next man up to the plate, but QB's got the angle under control. Okay, looks like Sangal have been able to breathe some life back into this round despite their rough position. QB misses a shot there to pretty much lock in the round. I don't even know if Saw want to go for this, though. Such a difficult position in the 2v3. I think they're going to head for the heals. Yes, Sangal have done it again here.
Yeah, I can't believe they're still alive in this one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, me neither.
15,
It was
11.
that dry peek in towards CT there. Getting the kill on Just, that was everything. U-Jerks tries to trade, but Sangal were ready for it.
I know, man.
And when you see them
Sangal.
playing like this, sorry, Sneaky, but when you see them playing like this, you kind of wonder, well, how did they lose on Ancient 16-3 and how are they behind 15-11 right now, you know? Clearly they've got the ability.
Yeah, they're starting to be rather prominent on this T side of theirs. It took them a little while to find their groove on the defensive. If they found it a little earlier, this could still be a competitive map, but Saw, the fact they just need one more round makes me still hesitant to favour a comeback here. I don't want to be the one who cries wolf too early, but we did say that Saw needed 2 out of 8 rounds. They found 1 so far. There are 4 left to do it in. If Sangal can continue this form, then honestly, I do have my doubts. Materis and Roman have got AK and an M4 between them. Justice got a decent bit of util, but Sangal have got a lot more than that, and my goodness, U-Jerks is already dead.
I'd be a fool not to believe, Sneaky, because I cast Havu versus Spurs Academy yesterday, as it's just an easy cleanup here for Sangal against the Eco, which did still have a few threats amongst the pistols, but still, Havu were down 15-10 on Anubis. They were on the T side, and they won the map in overtime, which included a 1v5 coming through from Ottend at 15-11. So
it just doesn't make sense, does it?
Exactly, that's why anything is possible. So I'm not going to even... Okay, I was going to say I'm not even going to count Saw out of the round, but now I will. Story's dead. I mean, Sangal could certainly take this to OT, right? Don't have to win 3 more rounds after this, and there's only 2 gun rounds within those 3 rounds.
Well within the realms of possibility here. Scarily so for the Portuguese, or excuse me, right now. As despite Soulfly, what am I talking about? Soulfly being on a 0.5 KD and Skrunk doing Skrunk things, the rest of the squad have shown up around him, and Kyubi, the player you pointed out to be one of your stars on this squad, he's really been leading the charge right now, 23-19. So on the flip side, they've got a couple of stragglers. Roman's had his mishap moments, and Materis, despite his good scoreline, a lot of those kills have been against pistoled players. I mean, if you just look at this round, he has the AK, waltzes into a smoke, gets decapitated for no kill. And he was one of the 2 riflemen relied upon by this squad. Good kill by Story, but even so, Sangal, they're starting to look more and more menacing. 12 on the board. Could it be a deceptively close scoreline, or will they be taking this all the way? And if you want a chance of taking one of $400 worth of skins home with you, why not check out our partners over at Hellcase? Scroll down below to the banner in the stream description. All you need to do to enter is deposit $3 on the site and be watching this stream, which I'm assuming you're doing if you're listening to my voice right now. As just... well, needs to listen a little closer to those nade pings. Gets slapped up by 2 of them and is already down to 50 points of health. But remember, kids, if you're using, well, preferably not children, if you're using Hellcase's site for its intended purposes, which is case openings and upgradings, please do remember that it is all gambling, so do not gamble if you're under the age of 18. Do not bet with more than you can afford to lose. Don't go chasing your losses, as it is simply not worth it.
Use your money to buy experiences, guys. That's the real way to live.
I completely agree with that. Go to a major or something.
There's a minute left on the clock. This is a major round for Sangal. They've been forced out of Banana initially, but they have quite a lot of util here to respond with. All 10 players left alive on the server. Sangal start to close the gap, and I think that they're going to execute in towards this B-bomb site. There's only 2 players here. It's U-Jerks and Just. Once again, they've got a smoke between them. Just is holding on to it for now. Waiting for some sort of indication, waiting for some sort of sign to deploy that smoke. Story's rotating through. He has an incendiary as well. Just is a bit low on the smokes. They're going to get ahead of it. Flashes are great to keep him tucked in. U-Jerks has fallen. No, that's not a good pre-fire at all.
There's a terrible pre-fire, but Story gets a trade, but that's all they'll write. With Tyrus and Roman playing together for a very long time at this point, forced away to save on the A-bomb site as Sangal get within 2. Overtime, a looming possibility here. As source rotations and util usage on this CT side have been subpar. Not what we're used to seeing from this Portuguese side.
Yeah.
They start strong, but they're finishing ever so weakly. It will honestly be a miracle at this stage if they can close this map in regulation, as they just look so deflated in these gun rounds.
Well, the problem is that B-bomb site. That B-bomb site is just getting hammered right now by Sangal. It's just a basic execute. That's more than enough for them to win these rounds, which is a problem for Saw. When they've got their 2 players in position, they really aren't able to put up much of a fight. The best they've done is gone equal. Here's Just pre-fire. That gives up his position. Corey, it goes above and beyond. And it's going to be an investment coming through from Saw. Okay, means no AWP. Sure, they've got 4 rifles. If Sangal win this round, then that 30th round of the map is going to be slightly easier than this one, Sneaky.
Man, it's just going crazy right now for the likes of Saw, though. They're so nervous about B. They start with 4 players over towards that side of the map. I don't know if that's necessarily the right call. Regardless, they dump a bit of util towards depths of CT here. As they scamper back over to defend the opposite site, is saying, they're just letting things simmer. They send out Kyubi into the apartment, see if he catches anybody off guard. But no, for the meantime, Sangal are more than content to let Saw sweat.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just slow things down here if you're Sangal? Saw are worried that they're going to go A eventually, right? They're worried that they're getting conditioned. So they're scared that Sangal are eventually just going to change it up and pivot towards the A bomb site, which they haven't done yet. And it's not going to be the case in this round either. They're just sticking to what's working for them. U-Jerks and Just once again. U-Jerks has an HE grenade, a smoke, and an incendiary. He deploys the smoke, this time at a better timing. Sangal will have to go through it if they want to execute now, and they will.
Yeah, util expended. Lives on the line as U-Jerks actually jumps back through the coffin smoke. Soulfly will start the fragging as Corey bangs another, Just misses the freebie onto a low entry player, lands a dink but gets dinked by Boozy through the edge of quad. This is a catastrophic failure again for Saw. They do a lot of damage to Scrunk and Corey, but no frags come over the line, and B continues to be a point of utter despair for this Portuguese side. Story, an MP9 wielder, will only be able to bring that into the next round. No upgraded rifles, no extra util. It's looking worse and worse as this round goes on. I reckon now overtime is inevitable. The Saw have really let things slip.
Are we watching Saw versus Outsiders at the PGL Antwerp RMR, the PGL Major?
Deary me, don't remind them of that.
15-14.
Oh,
Saw
here
on
it
map and
goes.
series point. They were on the T side that time, to be fair.
They're
I
going to
think that
do it to us.
Muterus, Roman, Just, they're getting some PTSD. Arky, the coach, he's getting shaky in his seat right now.
Are we going to be breaking the 2-0 spree we've had today? Sangal,
Yes.
more than well equipped to do it. They even mock their opposition, buying spare AKs in towards T-spawn. You know, just in case they get a bit trigger happy, exactly, running out of ammo. I don't think that'll be their main problem, though. Instead, they buy so much util in spawn, they lob nades early doors up banana, and they go back to retrieve their flashbangs. That's how much spare cash Sangal had coming into this final round, as Saw cannot quite boast the same niceties. It's going to be a FAMAS and an MP9 coupled with 3 rifles, sparse utility, and only 2 defuse kits. They're clinging on by a thread here, Hayes.
This is problematic. They've left Just by himself towards top banana with an MP9 and a smoke grenade. You need an incendiary in this position. Sangal will go straight through that smoke grenade. You can bet your top dollar. And they're going to go B again here, Sneaky, because B has been working so well for them throughout this half so far.
Really has.
You need to get out of there, Just.
What isn't broken.
You need to get out of there, Just.
He does in the nick of time. Will this call a rotation? Yes, it will. 2 scamper over, but now, wouldn't it be amazing if this is the one round they choose? 40 seconds ago, they start to sprint. Popped against it, start shifting again. They realise there's a smoke there, but as they line up their util, this could be the perfect play from Sangal. Oh, it's starting. The Hellfire of util comes on in. Saw realises what's happening. But they've already lost long control. The site players, they're sandwiched, Hayes. This is pretty catastrophic.
Roman steps out, spray down on 2. More work to be done. 10 seconds left. Bomb's been dropped.
Oh, no.
Jokes back as well. Not like this, Sneaky.
Oh, my God. It's flawless. The one time they go to A, they get absolutely obliterated. Saw, they keep themselves alive. Roman goes huge. 3k to Vitali, a 2k spray down. It's immaculate from the site defenders. They don't need the rotations to come in. They don't need to buy time. They get it done themselves. And what a disappointing finish for Sangal. They get brutalized on Saw's map pick, and they get pipped to the post on their own. And with that all said and done, it's another 2-0 to keep the day running.
It's just the way that they fall short in the final round. It's the irony, as you say, the one time they go A, but not only that, there were only 2 players on the A-bomb side, and they weren't in great positions either. Pretty much the only thing they had going for them was the fact that there wasn't much time left on the clock, right? And we saw that earlier in the half as well, where it worked out and Saw in a similar fashion. Man, on the edge of my seat there. At least Sangal have a bit of a performance to be proud of there. They do themselves justice on Inferno. It was 16-13 on Inferno when these 2 teams played against each other last time. 16-14 this time. Same result, 2-0. And that's our 3rd consecutive 2-0 for the day, Sneaky.
Yeah, however, I feel like we're not going to be continuing down that avenue.
No.
We've got a, let's just say, rough Bulgarian derby coming up next. Neither of these 2 teams want to let slip again, especially the likes of Voivoda, still reeling from that loss over in EDC. But, yeah, both of them actually given a boot camp in Malta. It'll be interesting to see if they've shared any tips whilst enjoying the sun, sea, and fragging. But regardless, we do have about, I think, 45 to 50-minute break in between this next matchup. So, since we've got a bit of time, Hayes, is there anything you'd like to say before we pack up this previous series?
Well, I mean, maybe just Saw when they're on point look really good, but there were some frailties there as well on that CT side that got exposed. That B bomb site defense looked pitiful, right? That was not pretty at all. So certainly something they're gonna have to brush up going on forward. It's going to be a tough quarterfinal matchup for them against Game Allegiance, Sneaky. But that's all from me, mate. Why don't you throw this one to a break, and we'll come back to that.